right, Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Live on Neevesknives. How's everybody doing tonight? So, I do have, for those of you that care, I know some people are coming in here, so I got a banger fragrance to talk about during Fragrance of the Day. This thing is just an absolute... it's not beast mode, like as far as like how long it lasts, but the scent profile off the chains. So what's going on with you guys? So we have a lot of testing going on in the background. One, we got a new sharpener, and I'm putting together the top 5 best knife sharpening devices video, so that's on the way. But we're also testing the Civivi Cubit versus the Wii Cubit. So I did a thing, this was a while back, I did a little poll, and you guys picked a budget knife versus a premium knife, and ever since then I've been trying to put it together, and I did start doing one and it just fell through. So now I'm doing it again. Now the thing is though, is I think I'm going to do more than this one. I think this is just going to be the start of a bunch of them, and there's a couple reasons why. So one, this is a great comparison because it's the same knife. It's just premium materials versus budget materials, so the same geometry, same everything. So when I do an edge retention test, they're the same. However, this is the downside. WeKnifeCo doesn't do a great job with their 20 CV, and this is coated. So this is not going to be a great... I mean, it's going to be a great indicator of what you're going to get for the money, right? But it's not going to be a great indicator of what you're going to get for, you know, like a premium knife, you know, especially if you care about those things. So I did think about possibly doing another test separately with like a budget steel of some sort from 14C, Nitro V, something like that, to like K390 or Rex 45 or M4, something to where there's a big jump and show the difference. Now, the thing is the steels that come on those knives, the knives aren't necessarily super premium. And this is where it kind of gets a little a little messy, because it's like when we're talking premium, you'd like to think we're talking head to toe, right? From, you know, the scales, the blade, the heat treat, the everything. So thought about doing a Herman versus a budget knife. Thought about doing maybe a Shuro versus a budget knife. I don't know yet, but either way, this is the first one. Got the cardboard on the way. I did buy new cardboard. The cardboard I did on the last test was single walled cardboard. I don't think you guys were that happy with that. None of you guys said anything. I think it was just me in the back of my head thinking you guys were. It haunted me afterwards. I kept thinking, like, I should have just did double walled. I should have just did double walled. I should have just doubled them up at the very least, because, you know, you could take the number and then just cut it in half, but that's not accurate. That's absolutely not accurate. Mike Lewis gifted 1 Neevesknives membership, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. For the members, we do not have a members live this weekend, but we do have one next weekend where Lacey is going to come. If she's still available, she said she's going to work it out with her job. She's going to come on the live with us. So we're going to do a members live sharpening with Lacey. There she is right there. So that will be not this Sunday, next Sunday. How about those OG scales for the Mannix lightweight? Still waiting. Still waiting on them. They're going to be a little bit, just because they're not a big facility, like they're not huge, so they're a small team of guys, and they're working on the MSIs right now, and the scales for those. So obviously, and all their other stuff, but like when they're doing a new scale, I think it's difficult for them to work on more than one thing at a time, because they're reprogramming and doing all this stuff, which is difficult, you know. So as soon as they're done, you guys will know. I'm sure I'll be the first to hear about it as soon as they're done, or at least hopefully. So I did send them a stitch as well. So they're making some stitch scales, especially for the was it Gen 1 or which one do I have? I have Gen 1, right? Whatever the version I have. They might do a Gen 2 too. Eaton became a member. Thank you, man. I appreciate the support, man. Thank you. And don't forget, guys, the members do get a giveaway. Every single members live, we're doing a giveaway. I was hoping Jared was going to do a halftime show. MO live sharpening. What do you mean on here? I'm talking about on here for the members. What are we all carrying today? I actually I was carrying, to be honest, I was carrying the Mannix Rex 45 again, but I just did a bunch of testing on the LMAX from Giant Mouse. I posted a video on TikTok because my video was I was gonna try to post it on TikTok and on Shorts, but I can't get the video down to 60 seconds. Like, it just doesn't make sense if I do that because there's just too much information and I can't. The point of the video was I took a factory edge. I showed the factory edge before use under a microscope so you could see it. Then I cut down a shit ton of cardboard and like super thick, like quadruple thick cardboard, quadruple walled cardboard, and broke down a ton of it in the video. You can see like there's a ton of cardboard there. Anyway, so broke it down and then took the edge and put it under the microscope and looked at it under the microscope after a bunch of use. Then sharpened it and then looked at it under the microscope again to see the difference from a factory edge to a used edge to a new sharpened edge. Now, the steel was definitely burnt. So what happened was during the testing, it microchipped pretty bad, like significantly. And it shouldn't have done that. It absolutely shouldn't have done that. Not without me hitting anything. It was straight cardboard, maybe some tape, but there was no staples. There was literally nothing that could eat, not even like hard plastic. It was literally just all cardboard. So doesn't make any sense for the type of microchipping. Like, I can understand a little tiny, but they were pretty good flakes off the apex. So you can see it in the TikTok thing if you go and look. But I'm suspecting that it was because it had a burnt edge. That's the only thing I could think of, because the only thing that I can think of that would make an apex that brittle on LMAX, you know, it's not like they had a 5-degree edge bevel on there, right? So after sharpening it up, we have a fresh edge. Sorry, guys. I have a fresh edge on there now, and it did deburr very well. Everything went well through the sharpening. It is very, very sharp. I did not take it to a high grit just because Giant Mouse is known for not running their steel super hard. LMAX. So LMAX, very similar to what you can expect from like 20 CV with sharpening. If it's softer, it will not. It doesn't. You shouldn't put a polished edge on it if it's softer. If it's on the softer side, so because it will take a great polished edge, but it just won't hold it. Now, if it's harder, like if it's really good LMAX, it'll take and hold a polish well, fairly damn well. So you can put a polished edge on your LMAX as long as it's really good. I just don't suspect that this is super hard. So not that I know it for sure, but you know, I'm just suspecting. But it did deburr very well. Came out nice and clean. So, you know, we'll see. Hopefully I got rid of the burnt steel. I did try to remove a little bit of extra to make sure I did. Johnny B, what's up, Neeves? Hope all is well. Must have lost the temper while sharpening at factory. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, if they're throwing sparks, it's burning it. Especially with, you know, thinner edges, right? This is not thick geometry. This is nice geometry, really good geometry. When you start getting thin like that, it's a lot more susceptible. Obviously, right? You know, thinner metal is going to heat up faster than something thick. Yeah, I got a full refund from Pocket Priorities. I'm trying to get the word out to make it more difficult for the thief to sell or possibly bust his ass. What happened? Somebody got you? Giant Mouse's LMAX definitely ain't high grit friendly. It's just too damn soft. Yeah, you know, and the thing is that their LMAX is the best stuff that I think they do. Like, I've never been mad at their LMAX. Their LMAX has always been okay. But I'm also comparing it to their other steels. So when you do that, you know, it's like, you know, oh, their LMAX is good. Well, not compared to other companies, but compared to their other steels. Compared to their Magna Cut or M390, The LMAX is, I would way rather have their LMAX. What are they running their magnet cut at? 59 to 60 or something like that. Maybe they're running it a little bit harder now. I'm not positive. Maybe it's 60, 61. But that's the way they do it on all their steels. Like, I don't know if I've ever went on to an Italian company site and seen proper HRC. Like, I don't even mean like at the top. I just mean like where it's like, okay, you know, that's okay. I don't think I've ever seen that. It's always been like you're always worried what it's gonna say, and then when you see it, you're like, oh damn it. Miss memberships. Did I can't see them. Oh shit. I can't believe they just jumped right past me. Eaton, thank you for becoming a member, man. I appreciate you, brother. Mike Lewis gifted a Neevesknives membership. Did I get those ones already? I might have already got those ones. I'm going to get these next ones. Pretty sure I did. Then we got Low Country Hillbillies. Been a member for 2 months. Dogs killed. Deep freeze plug. So Patty Melt is J-Rad. Bluetooth Blaze, been a member for 12 months. Lacey on Neevesknives. Epic. Cue Ball's in the house. What's going on, Cue Ball? Hope all is well with your brother. Been a member for 23 months. Hello, folks. Good to be here for a bit this evening. Hey, did you know that the Skyraider Knives is located a few miles from me? His work trays are amazing. Going to reach out to him when I can. Yeah, I got one right here. Yeah, they are. These are very nice. I have actually already got my bit set up. You can see my bit dish. Oh, we has, of course. Yeah, these are really nice. I love how you can take those off. I'm actually going to keep it up here so that I can feature it in some more videos. But, you know, like if I ever take apart a knife really quick, I can just slide it over. Because I'll tell you what, it's not a good idea for me to take apart knives on the surface that I film on, because it just winds up getting messy. I got to replace this thing already. I know you guys bitch about it all the time, and it's because I always poke, stab, and cut it. So like my background will be nice and perfect, and then a month later there's dots all over it, and everybody thinks it's the screen on their phones. Ever wake up next to someone and realize you're more discerning about your knives than your sexual partner asking for a friend? Neevesknives halftime show with a racy wardrobe malfunction. Please be on the lookout for the FSD serial number 92. It is a black Timascus inlay. It was lost or stolen in Hazelwood, Missouri at the UPS and was stolen along with 18 other items in shipping container. Fuck, man. Hopefully. So what just happened to me, just so you guys know, I just had an incident. The first time in 4 years something happened. Well, so I've had a couple other like hiccups where like one package went to go out of the country, even though it was just going to another state. They caught it and wound up making it. Another one went to the wrong address, and luckily it was able to get figured out. So nothing bad ever happened to me so far as packages being lost, aside from going overseas. Overseas, I lose them all the time. Those don't count. As far as in the country. KC Knives Fast, I had his knife and I was supposed to send it over to Bees Blades. And this is a prototype. So one, if you guys don't know, prototypes cost more money. Number two, well, at least the first one does. It costs more money. But number two, you can't replace them without like 4 months, right? Or however long it takes for them to make a new one. I overnighted it to make sure it got there. I overnighted it and they lost it. I called because I was looking at the tracking and it said it had never moved, right? It said that the shipping label was made and that was it. And that was like 3 days later. I'm like, this thing should have been there yesterday. Called them up. They're like, yeah, we don't know what's going on. We're going to check our cameras. I know these people at the shipping place and they're really good to me. So I know it was really upsetting for that to happen between us. So I'm not holding anything against them because I know they were freaking out because they treat me really good. They know what I do and everything. So they know like that the packages are very important in many cases. So they checked their cameras and they said they accidentally went into a different bin than it was supposed to, which went to a different shipping company that it was supposed to. And they were like, but usually they catch it within 24 hours and send it back. What happened was that they didn't catch it. Well, they did wind up catching it, but they didn't catch it in the 24 hours. So it was like the next day, and then like the next day, and then they wound up that company, whoever wound up getting it, actually delivered it for us. So, which is crazy. They actually just took it and delivered it from their shit, which is awesome that they did that, because it wasn't like they were paid. It's like literally paying for UPS and FedEx doing it for you. So, wound up working out. I think the company that I work with, Shipping Point, because that's what I go to, is Shipping Point, because then they deal with all the different companies. It's a little bit more money, but anyways, wound up working out, thank God. But hopefully it didn't happen. Something like that didn't happen, where it just went into a different bin and now it's just going all around the country. Jones has been a member for 13 months. Lucky 13 for your boy. Time has flown because I've been having fun. The channel just keeps getting better and better. Hell yeah, I like hearing that. And we got some great content coming up, guys. I'm telling you, man, this year we're going all out. This year is the year. Like, I put a lot of work in the past 2-3 years, 16 hours every single day, 7 days a week. But we're going even harder this year. Low Country Hillbilly with the 5 bones. The vision is a beast in the kitchen. Hope to see the best kitchen folders video coming. Patty melts, home fries, and Neevesknives. Not bad. I like that. I like that idea. Check this out. Speaking about kitchen knives, Ray from Everyday City Carry. You guys know your boy Ray. Let me just catch up in the chat. Sorry, guys, I'm backed up. Sent me a knife. It's not a serrated knife, by the way. It's one of his family members' knives, and boy, have they hit some stuff. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna regrind it for him. I'm gonna throw it on the belt sharpener and grind all that. I'll probably grind it down like this, just grind all this off and then taper it like that. I'll probably do something like that. These are pretty nice. I actually do kind of like these. I mean, you know, they're no Chef Kalari or no Steve Kalari custom, but you know, for the money, they're really affordable. They got good balance. When I sharpened them, the sharpening actually went pretty well. It's 304 CU heat treated to 62 plus. So, and it did feel like that when I deburred it and everything. It did feel good. It's just a super simple steel, but it's at least on the harder side. That is definitely serrated. That's you may be tampering with evidence there. It's possible. That is possible. I'm thinking Ray should have bought a new NAF. No, he's got family in the community, so we'll take care of him. We'll take good care of him. It'll be like brand new when he gets it back. That's the beauty about having people in the community. To be honest, I could make a phone call and send this to somebody too, and they'll throw it on their belt and regrind it for me pretty quick if I really needed them. I got a belt. It'll work for that. I do have a big one, man. I need to set up. I just can't set it up here. But the one I'm going to use is a small one. But there's lots of different ways you can do it, you know, as long as you don't heat it up. That's the biggest thing. Just don't fucking heat it up. But as far as the testing videos go, I got like a ton of really good ideas planned. Not only just like obviously shorts and all that stuff, but full length content with testing. Like I said, I'm going to do the top 5 best knife sharpeners and why. I'm going to do a lot of comparisons, tons of edge retention tests, tons of everything as far as testing goes, to where the information, so the videos are just packed with information. That's basically what I'm going for. I'm going for information packed videos so that you don't want to miss it. That's kind of the point where I'm trying to go with. What I'm trying to do is I want to increase my my click-through ratio. I want to make sure that I don't give a fuck about getting another subscriber. I give a fuck about the subscribers that I have watching every video. So I'd like to get just the percentage of people that click on the video right when it goes up higher, so that, you know, it's just better. So, but the only way to do that is to offer something that they can't deny. They don't like, there's a bunch of channels out there, right? As soon as they pop up, I click it. As soon as they pop up, like for an example, there's one out there, Outdoors 55. When Outdoors 55 posts a video, I fucking click on it no matter what. Can't help it. I just can't help myself, because it's packed with information and he's really good and he actually does the testing and he's honest, and I can feel that about him. I can tell that he's an honest guy and he's just showing you what he's got, you know, and I like that. Good day, fellow knife lovers. Pray you are all safe, smiling, and well. Yes, that microscope you use for checking the edge is insane. These beats the light I use and squinting to see the edge. You know what? I'm thinking about getting another one. One that's even more intense. That one works. It works great. But I really want to get even closer than what that thing can do. I'm not sure if there's something I can do to that to make it even better. There might be. Maybe there's attachment or something. There's a lot of opportunity for you to do videos on fixed blades too. Huge market that only likes fixed blades. Yes, I know, but guess, to be honest, for me personally, the fixed blade content never does as well as the folding content. And the reason why is because of where I'm at. I'm not in a location where, don't get me wrong, I do have some videos planned. I have a place, my family's house, place I grew up, my grandma's old house. I'm gonna go there, and we got a lot of shit there that where I can wreck house. So I'm gonna do a whole bunch of fixed blade testing there, but for the most part, it's a little bit more difficult for me to do fixed blade shit because of where I'm located. You know, I'm in the suburbs, so you know, I'm not like in the woods. So I do have woods next to me, you know, nearby where I can get to them, but it's a populated area. It's not, you know what I mean? It looks weird, guys. It looks weird. I almost did this clip one time, and this is just so funny because it's a trail where I'm going, where there's people jogging, walking, kids, dogs, whatever. I thought about doing a thing where like I have the camera on my face and I'm walking and I'm acting like I'm not sure if I'll ever make it back, you know? And then all of a sudden you see somebody walk by, hey, how you doing? And I'm just like, hey, how you doing? Just let them walk right past and then go right back into it. Yeah, we might not make it. I need a system for choosing which knife to purchase each week. Too many, too little time, too little money. Yeah, I actually did a video on this was a long time ago. I don't know where you'd find it, but it was a video on how to identify a good knife and how to look at a knife online. Well, like how can you look at a knife and tell, does it have a good plunger on? How can you look at it and tell if it has good geometry? You know, like all these little factors. And I went down the line of what I do when I'm looking at a knife, because my perspective completely changed when I first started, you know, in this community. What I loved and what I was attracted to changed, like the exact, like literally just flipped because of what I could identify. So the things I was attracted to before, I wound up finding out was absolutely garbage. Not that like the garbage as in like you know, like weird knives, but just like the type of geometry, the type of blade shapes, things like that. Like, say, just for an example, the zero tolerance 0450. When I first got in the community, I freaking loved that thing. Like just the look of it. Like I loved it. But then you get it, it's not a great knife. It's super thick. It's a narrow blade. It's robust for a light duty knife. Like it doesn't make sense to be as thick as it is. The heat treat was absolute garbage on mine. The sharpening coil sucked. Like there was just so many factors. Granted, the action was snappy. It was a premium knife, but Mike Hawk says, can I ask a question? I've watched a few videos about sharpening, but haven't seen anyone explain the little J whoop they make when sharpening. What's the reason? I just don't understand. The reason is you are trying to get the tip. So when you're doing it, you're starting at an angle, right? So like you can see the spine is lifted up. So I'm starting at an angle. I lay it down and I'm laying it down at the tip. So I'm dragging down to get the tip and then just dropping my elbow right to the edge. So I'm starting at the tip, pulling down. So I'm strapping the tip and then back up, because what you don't, when you go like this, look at this. See what happened just right there? Can you guys see that? I'll do it again. So when I just start here, see how it starts digging in? So you don't want to do that. So you do the J pass, which can prevent that. So it can just prevent you from stabbing your leather and getting the tip at the same time. Now, it's because also a lot of people that do it are doing it faster, right? Like they could just go from the tip up, but then they have to be a little bit more gentle and delicate, you know, in order to go a little bit faster. That's kind of the reason. Hopefully that explained it. I went into my workshop and did some Frankensteining to that flimsy Hogue Deca 2 and Magna Cut, and now it's what it always should have been. Bit of custom fab, and we are good to go. Tell you what, man, this one from Hogue is pretty damn dope. I'm liking it quite a bit. I'm thinking about replacing the Omega springs though, with some thicker ones, because Hogue's Omega springs, while they're not bad, now that I've had so many great springs and, you know, from Omega springs in my knives, you know, you don't feel as good with the lighter ones. At least I don't. And it's nothing for me to replace them because I have a dozen sets of, you know, Omega springs. Hey, Neeves, could you tell me again how to shop Amazon for random household items through your storefront? Explain it to like a fifth grader. Yeah, I can do it right now. So let me pull it up. So if you go to Amazon, or sorry, if you go to, actually, you know what? Let me go like this. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it kicked me out. So if you go to any one of my videos, right? This video, actually, you know what? I did not do this video. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to put this shit in this video. But if you go to any one of my videos, including this one here in a second, and you go down into the description, you will see links to all the stuff, links to a bunch of dealers, links to pretty much everything. Now I have links. I have a store link. It's called, well, there's the NEEVEKNIVECO, which is the NEEVEKNIVECO dealer site. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Neevesknives store and sharpening supplies. Okay. So if you go to that and you click on it, that will take you to Amazon. And I'm going to show you guys here in 1 second. I'm just trying to pull this, just get this thing all finished really quick. I should have done this before we started the video. There's a bunch of little things like checks and balances you have to do when you upload a video, and I didn't do them. So I don't want this video to get demonetized or anything. Okay, so if I go to one of my videos, let's just go to this one right here. Play it. Pause. All right, so I'm going to go to one of my videos, and I'm going to hopefully show you guys. So here we go. We're in one of the videos. Oh, wait, no, this is wrong one. Oh, no, it is the right one. No, it's not. I'm needing help like a fifth grader right now. Struggling. All right, there we go. Now we got it. I pulled up the wrong thing. This one. Okay, so here we go. You see the video. Now, if you go down right here, it says more. See this little more right there in that corner? Right here. So it's right underneath the views. Hit that, and it'll give you a drop screen. Scroll down and go to Neeves Knives Store and Sharpening Supplies. You click that, and you guys can't see it because now I have to take it to the page that it's on. But when you click that, this is what you get. You will get this, the Neeves Knives storefront. Now, up at the top bar, you see how there's a search bar? That's, you can search anything you want there. So anything you want to buy, doesn't matter what it is, you can buy it there. So just go right up here to this top search bar and type in, yeah, toilet paper. Toilet paper. Bang, toilet paper. See that? You can get yourself some toilet paper. But it makes it to where if you guys are wanting anything else, you guys can always find whatever you want on there. Now, the storefront has things that I recommend, like there's different knives. I do have to go through it. It is definitely needing updating. The sharpening supplies is mostly all accurate, but there's still stuff there like knives and stuff. I need to replace it with new stuff. I haven't went through it in a long time. I need to go through it. But the point is, though, is that you have sharpening supplies there, knives there, and then if there's something that's missing that you want, just search for it. Low Country Hillbilly with the 2 bones. You got me hot with that last damn designs. You know what's funny is the knife I'm flicking right now is a damn designs. The Mad Tanto. Yeah, damn designs is pretty damn good. I will tell you this about it. Edge stability below 28 inclusive quickly becomes an issue so long as it's at 30. It's been great. 28 was having some minor fracturing happening on tougher cutting. Huh. Oh, we got Steve's in the house. Shout out to Steve. Because tungsten carbides are huge. What are you guys talking about? You guys are fucking talking stories behind my back right now. Thoughts on the new Civivi Praxis button lock? Also, can you please say hi to my friend Alex watching? What's going on, Alex? Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to Alex. Everybody in the chat, give Alex a thumbs up. So my thoughts on the Praxis button lock? It's good. The Praxis is a good knife altogether. Yeah, I don't think that's a knife you can go wrong with. They even have a premium version, I think, at KAVISO, with titanium and 20 CV. Average Joe says, hey, Jared, I don't know why I've done that. I don't know why I looked at it as a super chat. Do you ship internationally from the Neeves Knives store? The Neevekniveco or Neeves Knives store? The Neeves Knives store, whatever Amazon will sell. That it's Amazon. So if Amazon will mail to you, then yeah, I'm sure Amazon mails pretty much fucking all over the world, I would imagine. So I don't see why not. Most likely they have places in your country. Sometimes I think you can change location and stuff too. Finally able to pick up a MagnaCut Honeycomb Mordex. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. That's a good one. That's a really good one. You know what else is awesome about that? They do a damn good job on that heat treatment. Mine is really good. I like super impressed with that MagnaCut. And I'm happy because I believe the first I don't remember. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of Hogue, but I remember I was testing MagnaCut when it first came out. I thought there was some from ProTech. It might have been Hogue, but it didn't do that well. I know Hogue's definitely didn't. But anyways, the point is, though, is that the Mordex I got is fire. I think that one they said it was bought at Blade Show. That one they said, I think they said it was 63 to 64 or 6. I think it was 63 to 65 or something like that. That's what they said, something like that. I'm not sure what they're labeling it now, but at the time at the Blade Show, they could have adjusted it since. But either way, I could tell. I could tell when I sharpened it. You know, especially after you've sharpened a lot of MagnaCut, man. MagnaCut, it's night and day difference. It really is. And that's why some people that are making it seem like it's not a big deal between 58 and 60 and 63. You know, it's just, it feels so different on the stone, the way the burr comes off, even down to the type of edge it takes. Like when I tried to do a low angle edge, on one that was, I think, 59. And that was admitted from the company, which wasn't a big deal because at the time nobody really knew. Like it wasn't, it wasn't as well known. So I tried to lower back the edge angle and it just wouldn't take. It would not take. And somebody in the communities who sent it to me to test, and they know, they remember, it just would not take. That the apex just would not take. Like when you lower back the angle, it was almost like the apex would just like crumble. Not crumble like literally, but it just wouldn't be that fucking keen edge. And as soon as you started using it, it would just be gone, like dull, super quick. It would just wear down super fast. It was almost like there was just no stability. And I remember feeling bad because the guy had bought this knife, and at the time Magna Cut was, all the rave, but we didn't know about it. So I had to tell him, like, yeah, this shit's garbage, man. It sucks. He wound up sending it back to the maker. The maker redid it and did a better heat treatment and everything. But yeah, man, it just shows you like how much there's a big difference. But a lot of people aren't testing steels or testing period or even sharpening period to really know like what the difference is, and when you sharpen enough, you can really tell. Especially, I gotta say this too, when you understand how to sharpen, because like I like how Alex was saying in earlier's video, if you can't get a good edge on like a 400 grit stone, there's no point in going to another stone. Like 300 grit's a little low. So I would agree. 400 grit is probably, is like a great coarse edge where you can absolutely deburr it well on almost every steel. Almost every steel takes a 400 grit edge. Factory edges are almost always like 400 grit. So if you can't get a super sharp edge from 400 grit, right? Cleanly cutting paper, shaving hair, all that, there's no reason for you to go to 600 or 1,000 grit or 5,000 grit or whatever. Stay focusing on that because that's where you're going to learn is with the lower grit. If you can get a good edge with a lower grit, you can get a phenomenal edge with a high grit. But if you can't get a good edge with a low grit, you absolutely will get a garbage edge with a high grit. You know what I mean? Are the resin bonded diamond stones better than the steel plates such as Ultra Sharp? Yes, but they're a lot more expensive. So the resin bonded diamonds is a resin, right, with diamonds infused in it. So as you wear the stone down, more diamonds are just exposed. Yeah, you have to condition them, which what you're doing when you're conditioning it is you are basically chewing off the resin and exposing the diamonds. So the diamonds like stick out of the surface, like picture my fingertips as the diamonds. They wear down eventually from the hard steel you're sharpening, right? And the resin's kind of above them. Then you grind this off, the resin off, and expose the diamonds back up, and they're like brand new again. So you could do that for a very, very long time. Resin bonded stones last like a super long time. Diamond plates is a metal plate with diamonds on top, the surface. It's just on the surface. Once they wear off, they're gone. They're gone forever. Then you're just down to a metal plate. That's the difference. So they're both diamonds, but the one, oh yeah, another thing is resin bonded diamonds allows you to get to a super fine mirror polished edge with diamonds. I've never seen, maybe there's something out there that I don't know about, but I've never seen another diamond stone get you to a mirror polish that wasn't resin bonded, that was diamond. Now you can do things like go to a ceramic, go to some, you can do things, from regular diamond plate and get to a mirror polish, but I mean from diamonds. So, but that's the reason why they last a lot longer. They basically last forever, damn near. And they're diamonds, so they're able to cut the steels that you want. Bang, these knives. Plus, resin stones are more consistent scratch pattern. Right, and right, and that's another thing. Yes, they're less contamination. Because it's resin, it's the diamonds infused in resin. Now there is a variation in diamond size, but the variation is, they tell you the variation, like the one is a 5/7 micron. So the diamonds are between 5 and 7 micron. Now a diamond plate, especially if you have like a double-sided diamond plate, they'll have microscopic diamonds that are way higher grit than or way lower grit, I should say, than what's on it. So like watch Outdoors 55. He was showing this earlier where he had a cheap diamond plate, and when sharpening, you could see under the microscope the deeper scratches. Now that won't matter if you're just doing a toothy edge, but if you're trying to get to a super fine edge, those deep scratches will hurt you, or not hurt you. You know what I mean? They won't come out. You're gonna have to do a lot more work to get them out. Thoughts on the ProTech TR3 manual button lock coming out soon, announced at SHOT Show. I'm excited about it. I've been saying for a long time that ProTech needs to do more manual button locks. That's their moneymaker, right? Like, I know, like, their moneymaker's always been out the side autos. Keep doing it. You guys do it awesome. They do a great job with it, probably the best. However, they also do a really good job with manual button locks. And since they are the USA button lock kings, it's kind of on them to do it, right? I mean, as far as expectations, their lockup on their autos are rock solid. They have super strong locks. So we know they can do good button locks. You know what I mean? Like some of these other companies, fly by night companies or just, whatever companies doing all these button locks, half of them are garbage. Half of them are failing constantly, slipping, or the D10 sucks or whatever, or they super bad lock stick. So many issues. Some of them are doing a really good job, but a lot of them are not. But ProTech's known for doing good shit. Puppet Boy, been a member for 8 months, thinking of getting the ZT0452 in MagnaCut. I don't know though. So one thing I would be worried about with their MagnaCut is the HRC. I would be worried that they're going to do it on the softer side. So Kershaw does, so it's not so bad because I did test Kershaw, so I guess it'd be the same as the Kershaw's, but Kershaw's was 62. 61 to 62 or just 62. I think they said 62 is what they told me. And I did an edge touch test and it did good. However, on that, you're talking a lot thicker geometry. That's on you. I personally think like with that type of I don't know. They just the ZTs have robust geometry which doesn't work. It's not in your benefit for cutting. Right? It's not in your benefit for slicing. It's not in your benefit for edge retention. It's not in your best for cutting performance. It's not in your best interest for sharpening. It's literally every downfall is there, unless if you're going to be tough on it, right? But are you going to be fucking tough on it? That's the question. If the answer is yes, go for it. But if the answer is no, I'm just cutting stuff, right? I'm going to use it like a knife. Well, then you might want to rethink, those things. Like, maybe you want a little bit higher HRC so you get more edge retention. Maybe you want thinner geometry to make it easier to sharpen, better for stropping, better for fucking everything, including cutting performance and edge retention. So yeah, it's just, you gotta, figure out what you need. Joe says, hey, Jared, never owned a DLC coated knife and I want to get the Reverse Tux Padre. Will I have any issues in knocking the edge angle back? Is it any different? Can it chip or resist? So, no, DLC does really well. What I'll say is one thing you don't want to do with any coated blade is use fresh diamond plates that are brand new, right? Now, if it's not plated, or sorry, not coated, then you can do that, right? Like here, I just did one and it is coated and it turned out fine. What I do though is I never let the dust build up on the surface. I always wipe it off. I dust it off. But what I would recommend is just if you're gonna, when you sharpen it with diamonds, but sharpen it with diamonds that are not brand new. Like if it's resin bonded, maybe it doesn't really matter. But I mean, if it's diamond plates, because what happens is when you first start using a diamond plate, diamonds pop off. Like just whatever's built up on the surface will pop off. And that's what can scratch the surface. DLC is a lot less likely, but DLC, these are diamonds. So it can scratch DLC. However, the knife is badass. DLC's badass. I'm having something done with DLC pretty soon too. I'm actually thinking about having all 4 variations DLC'd. So there is no plain version, but I kind of thought about like maybe I should do 1 plain version and 3 DLC versions. We'll see though. Puppet Boy's been a member for 8 months, thinking of getting the ZT0452 in MagnaCut. I don't know though. Is that the one I already read? Didn't I just read that? Yeah, I think so. Wow, it's been a month. Thanks to generous people. 1 Minute Knife Reviews been a member for a month, and we have a Bang Gang live sharpening, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, and Lacey is going to join us. So we will have a guest sharpener on, a member too. and also the giveaway. Like always, giveaways always. I'm gonna start announcing it all the time. Hey, Zach Stuff gifted 1 Neevesknives membership, man. Shout out to Zach. What a good dude. Definitely go and give him a subscribe and leave him some comments. A lot of them, tons of comments. I have a habit now. I got the Spyderco Manix 2 in MagnaCut, and I can't stop flipping it open and one-handed closing. Third and fourth fingers have minor cuts. Yeah, I've definitely wore out my fingers. Like when I get a knife that has a super stiff detent, like a sticky detent, but I like it a lot, I'll keep flicking it, flicking it, flicking it, flicking it. The next thing you know, my fucking finger is sore as shit. I'll keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. It's like you'll set it down because you know your finger will be getting all messed up, and then you just like you're paying attention to something, watching a show, and your hand lingers over and grabs it. Next thing you know, you're damn it, put it back down. Jim gifted 5 Neevesknives memberships, man. Shout out to Jim Miller, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate the donation. All the donations massively help the channel. It's a massive way to support the channel is through donations, and we definitely appreciate it. Y'all see Zach in the Wild is killing the what? Y'all see Zach and the Wild is killing their channel? What are you talking about killing their channel? What do you Brandon, explain. Every time I see them, they're blowing up. They're doing great. Like they have so much potential. Like I'll be honest, Zach in the Wild is like if we were competing, like we're not. But I'm saying if we were, he would be like my biggest competitor as far as quality and just everything on point. His views are fucking through the roof with every video. Like he knocks every video out of the park. Like, and it's something to admire, like something to look at and be like, man, I you know, I got some room for improvements. Jim Miller's been a member for 9 months. Get your butts to the Sunday Lives and learn. There you go. Yeah, man. Knife sharpening, man, it'll stay with you forever. And if you think about it, I'm not going to say it's a lost art because it's definitely not a lost art. We have tons of great knife sharpeners, but with the next generation, there needs to be people that are able to teach the next generation. You know, it's kind of like think about like woodworking, right? Like I know because people think about it, like why would we ever do woodworking by hand anymore when we have power tools and all this stuff, which is true, completely true. You know, it does wind up becoming irrelevant, but the fact that there's still people to pass down that is a huge thing. Now, knife sharpening is different because we'll always need knife sharpening no matter what power tools or anything we get, which, you know, power tools have made that even easier too because now we have belts, so now we can grind them and things like that. But as far as sharpening, I don't know if it'll ever be better than just on a stone. I think that will be forever. Maybe not though. Maybe there might be some, you know, something that comes out in the future. Philippians with the 10 bones, 2 bones Jones with the 10 bones. Thank you, man. I appreciate the donation, man. Actually, $10. What does A mean? Zach in the Wild is literally doing TV quality videos. Yes, he is. But what is he doing with this channel? Nope. Zach in the Wild just posted a video today saying they're closing up shop. They're done. They're going to do other things independently. Oh, so him and his partner are splitting up. That's the problem because Zach's the face, but what's his name? Jamie's the guy that probably does all the recording, all the editing, all the everything. Without him, he is nothing. That's a fact. So Zach needs a new cameraman. That's somebody that's willing to because this is the problem, man. When you do a channel, you got to be willing to put in the work without the payoff, right? It's kind of like when I started this channel, I went a whole year of just pumping money into it, money and hours and time every fucking day without seeing a penny. I probably didn't start making money till after my first year of like really putting in work. But after that first year, once you get monetized, you start making money, right? Once you get monetized, so 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers, you start making money. But the monies are pennies. Like it's nothing. Like you'll put in a 16-hour day into a video and make $3, and that's not an exaggeration, like literally. So it takes the views. But after a year of you doing videos consistently, now you have a year's worth of videos being viewed, right? Maybe they're not all being viewed every day, but they're still being viewed. So now at the end of that year, your revenue starts becoming enough to where you can do it, right? Where you're actually making something and you actually see an end goal, or you see, you know, a destination. But for somebody to start with you on a journey, and I know Zach, and I'm not saying this is a problem for him, but one downside is that his videos do take a lot of work, and if he's doing it himself, he won't be able to do half as, you know, think about how long it takes him to do videos right now. They take a while. So because they're so far and in between, you know, it's very hard to be successful without having a couple videos a week at least, you know. There's a lot of things he could do, and if he reaches out to me, I'll help him however I can, because I could definitely tell him some ways to kick up some revenue to you know, to you know, be able to stay in the game and figure the shit out. There are companies that do editing for you too that you can use. They're very expensive, so that's probably out of the question. But there is some things he could definitely do 100% without a shadow of a doubt, and start making some revenue to where he can possibly hire somebody. Starting a business is a great way to lose money, but when it starts to click, it's life changing, right? And that's but that's the thing, is you got to be willing to put in the work. Um, I can't stand somebody who does not want to put in the work, because nothing in life is free. You don't get nothing in life without work. So to like, you get lucky sometimes, right? But just because you got lucky here or there doesn't mean you should bet on that. What you should bet is on you, right? I'm going to work so fucking hard that there's no way I can be denied. I'm going to work so hard that there's no way I can fail. And if your mindset is like that going into it, you can't. You absolutely can't fail, because you don't give up. So how could you ever fail? If you don't give up, how can you fail, right? But obviously some people might change lanes and stuff, but I think that that's also a detriment, because sometimes you're literally one door away from it becoming great, right? And if you don't reach that door and you wind up taking a turn before you ever get to that door, then you literally miss the opportunity. Now you're starting a whole new thing, and you got to find, you know, it's just, it winds up becoming a never ending thing. But yeah, man, any business, if you put in the work, I don't care what it is. Like, and I think about this all the time. Like, people that want to be successful in any industry, any business, it doesn't matter what it is. Figure out what you like, whatever you are passionate about, whatever you like, and go into that. Do make that your business, whatever it is. I don't care if it's Cheetos. It does not fucking matter. Whatever it is, learn everything about it, know more than everybody else about it, and then start doing things with it, whatever that is, you know. Whether it's lawn care, whether it's painting windows, it doesn't matter, whatever it is. But if you go balls deep into it and you love it so much that it's not even work. I mean, it obviously is work, but I mean, like, you love it so much that you show up early every day, you leave late every day. Like, even like with this, I never miss a day. Like, even when I have family stuff, I'm still working, which I need to stop doing that, because that's not right for my family. But I put in 7 days every day. By 7:15, by 7:15, I'm already working, and I work until 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, every single night, every single day, every single night, and I don't stop. But and if I do take a break or I stop, I'm regretting it. Like, I literally, it haunts me. Like, what could I have done? Like, you know, even like sometimes, like when spend too much time doing something else for a moment, you know, because I do have other things I do. Like, I exercise, I work out, you have to eat, you have to do things like that. But I just mean, when I start doing something else, like, you know, everybody needs some fun, which I do, you know, I go and have some fun sometimes. But if I'm doing something like just chilling, watching YouTube without doing something, I start kicking myself in the ass. Now, you know, I can use YouTube as, you know, a little bit of work too. So I kind of have to be on there, obviously. Puppet Boy, he has one. You didn't get the invite. I'm working on music loops, averaging 79 cents an hour. Now I make $1.80. Not really. I'm happy, belly full. Music loops. Huh. I'd say anything, and I know you were joking, but anything where you can start somewhere, right? Even if it is 79 cents an hour, as long as it's going up, then that's a win, right? It might be 79 cents an hour now, but let's say 3 months in, right? What if you can get that up to $100 an hour, or $75 an hour, or even $30 an hour, right? And it's still going up, right? You know, because you're continuing to work on it. Like then that 79 cents at the beginning seemed like it was all worth it, right? Plus, if you're the best at your craft, right, people will really trust your opinion on the subject. Like how I trust your opinion on blade steel sharpening knives, Joe. Right, exactly. And that's the thing is you want to become a professional in the field. You want to learn more about it than everybody else, because if you're the guy, right, no matter where it's at, whether it's on YouTube, if it's out in the field, if it's, you know, wherever, it doesn't matter. If you're the guy that understands and knows this topic so well, people have to come to you. So you are valuable, but you have to be the guy in that thing. My biggest issue growing up was I did too much. I did everything. Like I didn't stay in one thing too long. I literally jumped around so much. Like even in construction, I did concrete, carpentry, roofing, landscaping, plumbing. Like I literally just bang, 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 like so much different shit. I didn't focus. I did focus in some areas for a time being. Like I did siding, fascia, and gutters for multiple years in a row. Right, that was kind of like my expertise for years in a row, because I was a carpenter. So it just kind of, you know, went hand in hand. But the point is though, is that if I would have say stuck with that, right, just stuck with that, it'd be insane. But same thing with any part of it. Like even if I just did windows, right, or anything, but you have to stick with it. You got to keep working at it and becoming the best. And that you have to have that mentality of I need to put in more work. I need to become the best. You know, so that people are coming to you. And, you know, then think about what you could take that. Let's say if it is siding, right? Well, then maybe you can invent, you know, a tool for siding, or maybe invent a different type of siding. Like there's so many ways you can wind up taking something somewhere if you have all the knowledge on it. I always talk about like you know, like people that are starting off at zero, starting off at nothing, get a fucking power washer, man. Get a power washer. You can make so much money with a power washer. With your first, you know, like after a couple weeks, I know usually when you're broke, you know, you need to spend that money on gas and probably bills and stuff like that. But the first chance you have a little bit of money, buy another one, buy another power washer. Now hire somebody. Now you have 2 power washers going at a time. And then once you get a chance, buy a third one and then hire another guy. You know, like just literally have it to where now you can literally have 2 guys working and you paying them and then you making the money, you know, obviously because it's your business. And then you can start another crew and you can literally just keep scaling it up. But you have to, and also another thing is if I was the guy, if it was me, I'd be filming it. I literally would be filming the before and after. I can show you guys on YouTube right now doing that exact thing I'm talking about, but with landscaping, not with, well, I think there's some power washers too, but there's one in particular guy who does it landscaping. I think he does power washing too. I guarantee you, I promise you, he's making like 50,000 a month, like probably more than that, at least 50,000 a month, like at least. I look at some of his things and I'm like, how is he not making millions a year? Like he has to be, just from the numbers. It's crazy, but he does it all for free. So think about that. He's making so much money off the channel, off of recording it, that he has no reason to charge them. Like, think about it, right? Think about it. You're going to make, say, $10,000 off of posting this. Why would you charge the person 300, right? To do their shit. So he just goes up to shitty ass houses and says, hey, I'll do it for free. And then he shows it, does it, and then, you know, posts the content. And people like to see the before and after. You have to Leave time in your life, Jared. All work and no play sounds less like freedom and more like slavery. I agree, but I got time to make up, man. I got time to make up. I fucked around too much in my younger years, so I have to make up time, man. I fucked up, so I was a fucking, into too much shit and did too much crazy shit, and eventually shit catches up to you, and you gotta pay the debt. And my debt right now is catching up in life, so I have to work extra hard to try to get back 4 or 5 years of my life. Technically more than that, more like 10-15 years, but it is what it is. So I'm working double triple time in order to make that time up, and it just is what it is. Chris Jones with the 5 bones. I work hard at not working. It's exhausting and the pay is shit. And I take a shower every Saturday, whether I need one or not. Yeah, man. So with me, man, I mean, I'm not talking shit to you. You're my boy. I love you. But I hate that mindset. I like a hard working mindset. Somebody who's like, oh, it's hard work. All right, that's a job for me. So, I just, I think that if you have that mindset, especially like in this community, think about this. And I'm actually going to be saying this in a video coming soon. We try to be prepared for everything, right? In the EDC community, at least most of us do, right? Whatever, we have all these tools, all these things, right? To be prepared. But if you're not even prepared to push something, to pull something, to pick something up, to run, to fight, then what good is it? It really is no good. Think about that. Like, aside from fidget factor, but I'm talking about like in real life. When real life fucking kicks in, you better have some endurance. You better have some stamina. You better be able to work, because otherwise you're going to get work. You're going to get the work, So I think it's good for us to to stay fierceful, just courageous, and putting in that work definitely does that to you, because it's like a body in motion stays in motion, body at rest stays at rest, obviously. So Jared, are you on the path? You are on the path, my brother. Proud of you. And I don't know anyone with more drive. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm sure there's a lot of us I know that have drive, and I hope I'm just encouraging people to also have that drive, because I think men encourage men, and I know I have a lot of encouraging people that I listen to and I watch that motivate me. They get me fucking pumped up. I got this guy I showed on. I actually had Ray from Everyday City Carry pull him up. His name is what the hell is it? Level Up Cole. Level Up Cole. He's on YouTube. He's on Instagram. He's on TikTok. Look him up. This guy, I watch some of his videos every day. Some of them are only 60 seconds, but that 60 seconds gets me fucking pumped up. Makes me want to kick. Let's look at one. I'll just pull one up right now. This shit gets me pumped. And there's this other guy I listen to, this prison channel guy, who also does this to me. But Level Up Cole has these very short ones that really get you going. All right. What the hell is this? Oh, here we go. Sorry. All right. So just so you know, he works on an oil rig of some sort. I think in Texas. I'm not positive, but this is just one short. Let me make sure the volume is
hard check time, motherfuckers. I'm gonna break this shit down quick and easy so you understand. Floor hands work on the floor, derrick hands work up there. Make more money as a derrick hand. I had a floor hand who I told to get the fuck up stick. He said, no, sir, terrified of heights. I said, if you don't get the fuck up there, you can get the fuck off my crew. So what did he do? He climbed that motherfucker. He faced his fears like a man. Now he's eligible to make more money because he can work up there. Sometimes all you need to do is stare fear dead in the eyes and slit that motherfucker's throat and watch him bleed out. Fuck being comfortable. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. Drop a comment of the time you faced your fears and it paid off. It's time to level up. Let's go.
So true. If you're not in pain and you're not suffering, you're not growing. Because think about it. In order to grow, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to you know, because to learn is to struggle, right? Like think about like anything you're gonna learn, you're gonna struggle because you don't know it yet. So if you're not struggling, you're not learning. Just let's do another one real quick.
Nobody's coming to save you, big dog. Don't you get that? Your whole life has led to this point because of you. Your shitty decisions, your fucked up habits, your poor choices have caused you to end up at this point. The only person, big dog, that's gonna get you out of this spot is you. No more fucking excuses. No more coming up with reasons why you can't. Grab a fucking gear, get focused, get ferocious, it's time to level up. Let's go.
One more.
If you woke up and had realized your dog had ran away, would you just say, oh well, I guess he's gone? Or would you go out and look for him and stop at fucking nothing until you found him? So why, when the dog inside you runs away, do you just accept that as your life? Oh well, I guess I'll just accept hating myself when I look in the mirror. Oh well, I guess I'll just accept myself being overweight. Oh well, I guess I'll just accept myself being unmotivated. Fuck that! Get out there and look for it! He's inside you, big dog! All you gotta do is find him and fucking feed him! You're better than this, big dog! It's time to level up! Let's go!
Yeah, dude gets me fucking pumped up. Locus of control, own it. Much appreciated, my friends. Yes, guys, make sure you guys go over there and subscribe to Zach's channel. You guys can see him right here. Go give him some love. It's trailer trash That's actually hilarious. If you guys don't know, he's talking about Goggins, the guy who runs. He was a Navy SEAL. He's a badass. David Goggins is a badass. But he's actually so badass. I heard this story on Joe Rogan where they were doing this marathon run. It was like 25, 30 miles, something. I don't know how many miles. It was a lot, right? And you ran like 5, 10 miles, and then somebody else ran 5 or 10 miles, and you had a team, right, of like 4 or 5 guys. So all these teams showed up. David Goggins, he was his team. He was the only fucking guy, and he did it all. But that's him, man. That's how he does it. He's probably had so many surgeries on his knees and everything. He's busted. He's broken. He probably pushes it past a level too unhealthy. But man, I fucking respect the shit out of it, man. And every man would. Like, if you stand in his presence, you're gonna fucking respect it, because that motherfucker grinds. He doesn't have any give. Fighters, UFC fighters been contacting him and having him help like train them and shit, and they can't, nowhere near compete with him. Hey Jared, thoughts on the CRKT ritual? I got some CRKT stuff coming up, guys. I can't post it until like the 15th or something like that. So stuff's coming up from CRKT very, very soon. But no opinions on anything yet. I have no opinions on anything yet. Jim, respect is important in any industry. Congrats of your success and how far you've come. He's like every game streamer out there. Be loud and aggressive and make money. Yeah, he's a like I said, he works on an oil rig, and he started a I think it's like a workout thing. It's like a train, like a mental train thing, where he's got this thing where you can sign up to it, and it's to help get you motivated and get you pumped up and get you working out and exercising and eating healthy and shit like that. He did a thing a few months ago where he wanted like the hardest bangers like in the country, like the people that want to throw hands, to show up in Texas, and literally whoever thinks they're a badass show up, and they're gonna do like I forget how much money it was, but whoever won gets the money. It's just gonna go down to the last guy. Keep moving forward. Where is Steve? I don't see him anywhere now. Huh. he's saying? Thank you to John. CRKT has been making a lot of good things. The ritual isn't new, and I wouldn't consider it a good knife. Which one's the ritual? Let me just look up. Is that the one with the crazy blade? Yeah. So I got the I got it. I got it right now for the first time, but I got the small one, not the big one. I've tried the big one before. Personally, to be honest, I'm not a fan. It's not for me. It's just I don't like the blade shape. It's nothing I would use. I'd never carry it. It's assisted. It's literally everything I hate in a knife. The blade, everything about it I hate. So even the smaller one, same thing. Now the bigger one, it's cool. It's got a lot of cool factor, but not cool factor enough for me to fucking carry it. So if I won't carry it, how good can it be? You know, like there's a lot of knives I won't carry that are decent, you know, and I can say they're a decent knife, but you know, if I like would refuse to carry it, what do you think of the KUNWU Django blade shape? It's good. I mean, it's that one's got a so there's the sheep's foot one and then the clip point one with the trailing tip. Both of them are good. The trailing tip is not going to be as good as the sheep's foot, obviously, but yeah, it's still good. It's still good enough to where you can do everything. The ritual is like obnoxious. So that's why that one isn't one. Because in order to use the tip, you'd have to flip the knife upside down. Like in order to use its tip, you'd have to flip it up like this. Because the tip goes like that. What's going on with him? What's he saying? If you think he was on, what's going on with you, brother? I didn't see you. I didn't see what you said. I'm sorry. I probably missed it. It's hard for me to catch everything. T-Bone with the 5 bones. I get a lot out of hard working. Been an electrician for over 20 years. Thank you for your services. I can tell you, you put your everything into your craft, and I've got a ton out of it, man. I appreciate that, T-Bone. And like I said, man, thank you for your services. I think a lot of the men that build society, keep society going, and you know, maintain society are very underappreciated. You know, I think we the people should definitely give a lot more gratitude to the people that build society. Because I know, like with me doing construction for over 20 years, this shit breaks you sometimes, man. Like there's some shit, man. There's times like there's times you're in like situations that'll kill you. I mean, look at my dad. My dad got paralyzed from it, you know. So I know firsthand what it could do to you and the cost sometimes you have to pay, and a lot of people pay that cost. And at the very least, you're going to pay it with your body regardless. You know, your knees are going to get it. Your back is going to get it. Your shoulder's going to get it. Carpal tunnel. Everything you can imagine. This shit's going to catch up to you. So, you know, it's a cost you pay, you know, to do that type of work. So the men that put that fucking work in, you know, that I think they definitely deserve a lot more respect than they get. Because without them, we don't have society. We don't have nothing. Literally have nothing. You know, if they disappeared tomorrow, our country would be fucked. Even if half of them disappeared tomorrow. And you could you know, say that about a lot of industries that wouldn't matter. You know, there's a lot of industries out there that it might suck, but it might suck, but we'd be fine. We'd be all right, you know. But then there's some shit like take away the drivers, right? Take away all the truckers, all the drivers, we are fucked. So I work for a demo company, and good for you, man. Thank you for your services. And I've been doing it for almost 10 years now, but been in the building construction industry for over 25 years now. So definitely know what hard work is. Thank you, Vinny, for your services as well, man. That's yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. That's to me, when anytime somebody says hard work, my brain goes right to construction because that's what I know. So that's what I've always done. But that's where I've seen and felt the most pain, the most suffering. Um, I'm talking about like I've been on walls doing siding when it was so cold because we had to, because you know you have to keep working and stuff. And sometimes you get a job and it's like it's too cold to do it, but you do it anyways. You know, like with certain siding, you can't do it in certain coal because they'll shatter. And it's cold, so the stuff is shattering, and you're so cold, you're trying to hold a fucking nail, but your hand won't stay still, so you keep hitting your fucking thumb with a damn hammer, and once you bust it once, you're gonna bust it 3 more times for the rest of the day. So by the end of the day, your thumb is fucked for the month, if not for, or at least for the week. And yeah, man, sometimes, man, it can be like very gruesome. Jared, me and my dad, we run a carpet cleaning business for 28 years. We have 5 trucks, 3 vans. We are retired now. Hell yeah, Ron. Thank you for your services. Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. I think working with family is a good thing. Mark says, you guys think anybody will ever give G&G Hawk competitions? Their prices have soared. That's the problem. They don't have any competition, so their prices are going to continue to soar unless if somebody does. Somebody needs to come up with a different way to do what they do, which I don't know if it's possible, but I should probably put some things into thought. Look at it this way. Civilization could crumble and be utterly destroyed, but people will still need to flush the toilets. Yes. Electrical work can be very tough. Agreed. And yes, some projects are super dangerous. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've worked with electricians my whole life. I've even done a lot of electrical work, and I'm not an electrician at all. I don't know shit about electrical work. I've done a lot of it because I've had people, you know, that I worked with that did know, and, you know, I just did what they said. I did all the electrical on my entire house, not where I'm living now, but the house before I lost it years ago. I had 2 houses and a garage and a pool, and I had to do the entire thing. And I've done tons of other shit besides that, but that was a long job. Like that was like a 2-year project for me, doing all that, because I was working at the same time while working on that. So I was going to work doing construction, taking care of my dad, and then also going and working on a house that was bank repossessed because of it being like, you know, so bad that it couldn't be sold or rented out. It was inhabitable. So working on that, getting it back to habitable, and then getting it to the point to where I could move into it and all that stuff took a long time. It takes 30 different industries to make a pizza. Jim, that's awesome. It sounds scary at the same time. I got to get over heights. Was never afraid until I stopped drinking. I used to parkour, believe it or not. That's one thing I've never heights. I mean, heights scares everybody. Like, I don't think there's anybody that it doesn't, unless like if you've been a skydiver for 20 years or something. But even me, like, heights they get to me too, but I guess not bad like some people. Like I don't think of heights like 3-4 stories. I don't think of that as heights. Like I'm talking about like, you know, like bungee jumping, skydiving, those types of heights. Those fucking get me, but I'll still do it. I'll do it in a heartbeat. But regular heights, that's never got to me because I did it my whole life. Like I was climbing ladders and literally walking across the roofs when I was like 7. You know, I grew up on the job site, so it was just a normal thing. One problem. Oh shit, we got to get the fragrance of the day. I got a banger right now, guys. I got a fucking banger. So, fragrance of the day, guys. This one's a heavy hitter, guys. I think it's expensive though. That's the only problem. So, if you're gonna try it, get a sample. But I would encourage you to get a sample. It is so good. And it is Vibrato, aka the vibrator. That's what the ladies like to call it in the fragrance community. So basically, it is you can see it is a unisex fragrance, but unisex fragrances in most cases are going to be the better fragrances, because what happens is if you are a woman or a lady and you put it on, it's going to come off more feminine. If you're a man, it's going to come off more masculine. That's the way fragrances are. There's technically no such thing as a man and a woman fragrance. There's just feminine and masculine. And then the a unisex one is going to be a balance between the two. That's all that is. So David Goodridge, thank you, brother. Appreciate the 10 bones, man. Shout out to you. Thank you. But the vibrato is like I said, they call it the vibrator. because it is a very sexy fragrance. It is, my goodness, good. I mean, this stuff is, when I literally got it yesterday and I was like, holy shit. So basically, right off the bat, super citrusy. And it's got, I think it's grapefruit. We're gonna look at the notes here in a second, but citrus, powdery, warm, spicy, fresh, spicy, woody, green, musky, aromatic, and floral. That that breaks it down really good. It is very citrusy, definitely has some woodiness to it. It is very green. It definitely has a muskiness to it, but it's literally, it's like there's like a grapefruit mixed with like a light fresh spicy, not like spicy like spices, but like a fresh spice. Um a light sweetness, and then it's got this musk to it, this thing to it. It's kind of like Creed Aventus in the background, like almost like they took Creed Aventus and like mixed 6 other things with it or something, because it has this thing in the back, this muskiness that's really good, like really nice, almost animalic. Let me look right here. Great, yeah, grapefruit, bergamot, jasmine, magnolia. The middle notes are ginger. Ginger's probably the one I'm picking up. Herbal notes, powdery notes, base notes are musk, cedar, amber, orris root, and patchouli. So patchouli is an earthy scent. It's probably where the green probably comes from the cedar and the herbal notes. But anyways, absolute banger. That's all I'm gonna say. Get a sample of it if you're gonna try it, because it is very expensive. I don't even know how expensive. I should look at it really quick. It is, I know it's very expensive. Let's just look right here on Lucky Scent. Yes, $325 for 100 mil. You can get a sample for 5 bones though, for a 0.7 mil. You don't want those. You want to get a little bit bigger of a sample. You want like a $10, $15 sample if you're going to do it. That way you can get a bottle like this and then you can actually try it. Those little tiny ones that don't spray, fuck those. Don't ever get those. The only time you get those is if you have a little thing you can pour it into and then spray it, because you always want to spray your fragrance. That's the way it was meant to be put on. This is a banger. This one's going to be tough, man, to get, because there's not much here, and I know I'm going to go through it quick. I do have some other ones though, some other bangers that maybe I'll bring up one right now. I'll talk about it really quick, but I have a few others that are really, really good as well. Zach Stuff gifted 1 Neevesknives membership, man. Shout out to you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Again, man, go and subscribe to his channel. Definitely give him some love. So this one is the next one really quick. I was going to save this for the next one. It's called, do you guys remember that box I showed the last week? It was Confessions of a Rebel. Well, this is another one of their fragrances, but not from that box. It's called Get a Room. And this one's actually really fucking good. Man, I got this other scent on me. It kind of reminds me of the vibrato, but just sweeter. Let me see if I can pull up the notes really quick. It's like, it's sweet, it's fruity, it's playful, it's fuckboyish, but I mean that in the best kind of way. What was it? Is there a note breakdown for it? Yep, here we go. Banger. So here's the note breakdown: woody, aromatic, vanilla, citrusy, soft, spicy, fresh, spicy. That's a bad explanation of it. Man, they don't got no notes. They don't even tell you. Oh man. It might have some woodiness to it, but it's definitely not a woody fragrance. It's more of a citrusy, fresh, spicy vanilla scent. It is a sexy fragrance. It's really good. I could see a lot of girls jumping your bones for something like this. And the vibrato is well known for that. Like if you go watch videos on this one, you will see video after video after video of like women like going crazy over this one. For on a man. There if you want a woody fragrance though, and you really want woody, like woody oud. This is a clone of Tom Ford's Oud Wood. This is woody oud. This is the most woodiest fragrance you can ever try. It literally smells like a lumber yard. Like if you walk into the lumber yard, fresh wood cut, fresh cedar, like, you know, like where you like literally just cut some cedar and you can smell the aroma coming, just pouring out of the wood. That's the way this is. Now, a lot of people love this, like a lot, and a lot of women love it on men. Like, this is very popular for women to like on their man. With me, I grew up smelling like this every day because I was doing carpentry, so I smelled like wood every day, all day. So it's not that I don't like it, because I do like it. I just don't know if I want to smell like this because I've smelled like it for so many years. Don't get me wrong, though. You know, I was very popular with the ladies, so maybe that's why. All right, I'm gonna head out. All right, brother. Thank you for joining. Keep your heads high and your knives sharp. Take care, everyone. Take care to you. Woody Harrelson. Great actor. I admire the sentiment and personal motivations from Mr. Oil Rig. I've known many blokes that I do, however, worry about him having a heart attack. Seriously, being that pumped does stress the heart. I don't know. I think it's also good for it. I truly think it's good for it. Because we're all a little different. But if your body's used to that, like you pumping out energy and shit like that, that's good for you, man. Like that should have put years onto your life. Like I know there's a limit, but yeah. I mean, I've been around guys like that my whole life. So, and I'm not saying a lot of them didn't die early, but it was probably from other reasons. Some of them were heart attacks, but but I'm just saying that if you're doing everything else right, then that'll be good for you. If you're doing everything else wrong and that, then yeah, it'll be bad. And that's kind of the problem with a lot of the guys that I know that you know, died before their time. I actually just found out, I found this out like a couple weeks ago. The guy I told you guys that story about, I know I've told a few stories of me doing CPR on somebody, but the guy that that fell out on me in an intersection, and you know, he was my friend, and I was doing CPR and wound up saving his life. He died, actually. Just found that out. I was actually looking him up. I was gonna call him up and ask him if he wanted to go get some dinner or something. Fucking found out the fucker died. Another one bites the dust. Got to put good stuff to get good stuff out. Sounds wrong, but it's right. Looking for recommendations for a blade steel. I need to cut leather, but the blades seem too dull so fast. Will any steel hold up for cutting leather? So one thing, if you're cutting a lot of leather, I would say just get a replaceable blade, a utility cutter. You can get a good pocket knife with a replaceable utility cutter. That way you can always just have a fresh edge. Now, if you want something to put next to that, something that you can improvise use, you're going to want something with super high wear resistance. Now, there's a difference between it holding a working edge and it holding a fucking sharp edge, right? There's two different things there, right? The fucking sharp edge is like hair shaving, hair whittling type of edge. And then the working edge just means it's going to cut. It's going to cut good. It's not going to be snagging. It's going to continue cutting cleanly. But with leather, you might want that keen sharpness, right? And in that case, I would say go with crew wear, or maybe even like a Rex 45 or something, K390. That'd be the really good one. K390 probably be my number one pick for you. Now, if you're wanting that long working edge, go with M4, MagnaCut, S110V, Maximet, Rex 121. All those steels will hold an edge forever. K390 is like the most versatile, I think, though. But and that blade shape from Spyderco will be really good for you, because that's where you're probably gonna have to get it, is Spyderco. And they got a few knives that come. Oh no, you'd have to get the stretch, I think, or the Dragonfly. They do have some Crewwear though. You can get the PM2 and Crewwear, but that's what I would say. I know sheath maker that just had a custom K390 leather knife, and he loved that thing. Bang! There you go. Yeah, I still think, you know, you're gonna want a replaceable utility cutting blade, just because, you know, like when you're it depends on the surfaces you're cutting on, but like if you're cutting on certain surfaces, you don't want your edge that that you want sharp always in your pocket to just strip, you know, and go dull really quick. This thing, anytime you're gonna do something with a knife that's going to instantly make it dull, that job is for a razor blade. Right? If you're going to do something that's going to make it go dull over time, that is something for a pocket knife. So that's kind of the way I think about it. Now, for actual work, like work, razor blades, replaceable blades are what you're going to want, unless if you need a longer edge. That's why you have your pocket knife. So say if you're doing utility cuts all day and all you need is the tip, then your utility blade's fine. But then say if you have to break down some thick cardboard or cut something like a rope or something like that, pull out your pocket knife. It's just two different, you know, tools. You know, it's like a screwdriver and a hammer, two different things. But the knife, you know, it's still cutting stuff, but two different types of cutting. But the pocket knife is made when you take your tool belt off, you still have a knife on you, right? When your tool belt's off and you're going throughout your day and you need to cut something, you got a knife on you, right? Because you never know when you're going to need a knife. But when you're at work, you want to have both. I really want a Tonto PM2. Did I say I really wanted one? Because I do. I think that one's tough to get right now. They don't even make them anymore, do they? Not a problem, Emily. Surfing roid rage. It's psychology, a front, it's manic covering of fear, weakness, it's a stereotype. Where did that come from? You talking about, dude? All those new super steels are so brittle they're almost worthless for any sort of actual use. That's not true, Ron. None of them are brittle, except like it depends on what you mean for brittle. Like they're not hard use knives. No, they're not impact knives. They're cutting knives. But if you're cutting with them and using to cut the things that you're supposed to use a knife for, they're not brittle at all. They're all really good. Especially like K390. K390 has fucking great edge stability. A lot of those steels, like you can go with MagnaCut that's got super high toughness. Like there are so many different steels. So if toughness is the factor, there's tons of that. If edge retention is a factor, there's tons of that. If you want to balance, there's tons of that. But the super steels are what's going to hold an edge way longer than anything else. And if it's too brittle for you, then it might be two things. There's three things. It could be one, you are sharpening. Number two, the knife you chose with the heat treatment. Or number three, you're putting a knife that doesn't belong where it's going. You know, because like if you cut aluminum, you know, like aluminum siding or something with your pocket knife, yeah, it's going to go dull really quick no matter what steel it is. If you're taking a Maximet and hitting staples with it all day or hitting nails, yeah, it's going to chip. It's not made for that. But if you're using what it's for, and then also your edge angle plays a part. Like if your edges are brittle, then change your edge angle. Like that's where the edge toughness is really going to come in, is your edge angle. Geometry is number one for everything, right? Number one in cutting performance or toughness. Same thing with your edge performance or toughness. It's going to be geometry. That same knife that might chip, if you raise the angle, won't chip. But it just depends on what you're doing. But think about this. Razor blades are how thin? Right? Yeah, they're super tough steel, but they're very, very thin, and they do very well. Stainless steels were super tough, such as 420HC and 14C. MagnaCut is crazy tough as well. Yes. Yes, 14C is off the charts tough. That's probably my favorite budget, or it is my favorite budget steel, favorite mid-grade steel. But it's not going to be able to hold an edge nowhere near like what any premium steel will. So, you know, Rex 45, K390, these types of steels, like in my opinion, they're plenty tough. K390, I haven't had any chipping issues with K390, nor with Rex 45. But MagnaCut, you know, like you was just saying, MagnaCut's super tough. That's a steel you can, you know, you can beat on a little bit harder. You know, even like M4 is a steel that holds a really good edge for fucking ever too. There's a lot of steels out here, man. So many steels. Show me a DM so it moves you to the top of my list, and I'll let you know what's going on. Everything I cut at work will destroy my pocket knife, so I use my fastback. Right, exactly. Exactly, Josh. Yeah, if you that's the point. You're supposed to have both. Have your utility blade and your pocket knife. They're just two different tools, right? Two different fucking tools. You know, it's kind of like even like this, right? Like a skill saw and a sawzall are both saws, but you don't use them for the same purposes, you know? Anybody doing K390 besides Spyderco? I'm doing it. Well, maybe not technically me, but I got some K390 coming pretty soon. It's going to be a little bit waiting for prototypes now. But yes, I got some K390 coming from a premium knife brand, knife company. And hopefully, you know, we'll see more of that. But yeah, not really anybody else besides Spyderco, unless if you go custom. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. Dog, you got some stories, but if I don't catch them from the start, I get lost quick. Why dog telling stories? I didn't see any. Maybe I should do story time. Have you ever had Bond number 9 New York Nights? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Not that I can think of, at least. Sounds good, though. I have two custom Pucos in K390. One at 65 and one at 66.8. Yeah, that's the only way you're going to get that level of hardness is from customs, you know. I think Spyderco goes up to it's 63 to 65, I believe. 63 to 65 is like the sweet spot, is like the, you know, the where you'd want to be. Now going up 65, 66, 67, 68, yeah, it can do it, but that's custom heat treatments. You're never gonna get that from production. But that's badass though. That's fucking dope. I don't even know if I'd want it. I mean, maybe I'd want it that hard. I'll tell you what, the way Spyderco does it to me is like perfect. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's better. I don't know. I'm just saying this. I've never tested it that hard, but the stuff that I've tested, I just absolutely love. I love the toughness it holds. I love the edge stability. I love the types of edges it takes. I love the way it holds its edge. I love the way it straps back. I love that I can put low angle edges on it and it just do very well. Now I don't beat on it because it, you know, I don't consider it a, you know, that type of knife, right? I consider it, you know, an EDC knife, stuff for cutting, and I want to keep my knife sharp, so I use it for regular cutting. You know, interested to me how so many non-stainless steels are being rated so highly by reviewers. Well, because stainless steel is not the end all be all. Just because something's stainless doesn't mean it's a great steel. Like, you know, the toughest steels are most of them are not stainless. You know, if and also some of the most highest edge retention steels are not going to be very stainless. Now we are very lucky to have a few that are pretty good, but yeah, in some cases the stainless qualities could bring it down in other fields. So, you know, it just depends on what you want. If stainless is super important for you, then yeah, you can go the route of a great stainless steel. But if toughness is, you know, like obviously we have MagnaCut now, which is really good as far as, you know, well balanced. And there's a few others that are very well balanced. Like Crewwear to me is a well balanced steel. It's 6 on the corrosion resistant side, so it's not horrible, but it's not great. But But yeah, you just got to find what's for you. There's no perfect steel, right? There's steel for applications. I just got an American Blade Works Model 1 in Magna Cut today and an LMAX Shango. Stoked to see how KUNWU's LMAX holds up. Yeah, I got some of their LMAX. I just recently, what did I sharpen? Oh, I sharpened their Vanax the other day, or last week or whatever. I still need to test it, but the Stretch 2 K390 might be the best value high performance work knife. Agreed. I agree. Well, no. Well, that one and the Rex 45 GP knives exclusive. I'd say this is right there with it because it's a Mannix. And the Mannix is like the best knife Spyderco makes. I do absolutely love the Stretch, though. I kick myself in the ass for getting rid of my Stretch. Maybe I might need to get another one. Luckily, they're readily available. But yeah, dude, the Stretch is a badass knife. I love the Stretch. But the PM2 is also really good. The PM2 Crew Wear is a really good one. Spyderco, man, Spyderco's got some good shit. Sorry I'm late. Out to dinner, just got home. Not a problem, Uncle Kenny. High carbon is great as long as you have coating or don't mind patina. Yeah, that's another thing. We do have coating, so you can mind, not really worry about some of that stuff. Check this out. Ray, you know how he sent me this knife with all the damages that we're going to be fixing up? He sent me some chips, right? Well, I don't really eat chips anymore, but I freaking love, like, if I'm going to eat some chips, like, I love, like, some of the Doritos and stuff, but I don't eat them ever because they're fucking horrible for you. Like, if you look up what's the worst chip for you, I believe it's like the spicy Doritos that come up or something like that, or like the barbecued ones or something. But this is a healthy chip. 20 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs, and there's like almost no sugar in it. There's 2 grams of sugar in this entire thing. But 20 grams of protein in this entire bag. They taste like an airy Dorito. So they're like a Dorito with less crunch and like air pockets on the inside. I'll show you one of them. What flavor is this? Barbecue. We got nacho cheese. Nacho cheese. We'll try the barbecue. See how they have like air pockets? But they're not super crunchy. I mean, they're crunchy, but not like crazy. They're very airy. So they just break down your mouth fast. They're good. They're addicting. That's a spicy barbecue. Yo, yo! They don't sound like chips. It's kind of like a Cheeto almost. It's not. I'm not saying just like a Cheeto, but kind of like. It's like an airy chip. It's like a chip with air pockets. So they're good though. They taste delicious. I've not had good luck with coatings, but I bought the new DIVO Blade Binge exclusive, so I'm hoping it is more black wash rather than PVD, but not sure. If you have problems, so one thing, if you only have 1, 2, or 3 knives and one's coated, it's going to get messed up. Unless if it's DLC. DLC is the best chance you got. But as far as anything else, you need other knives. If you have a lot of knives, then you don't put as much wear and tear on that particular knife. And if you do, own it. Love it. Fuck it. Who cares? Let it scratch. That just puts character on it. Now, I guess I'm saying that like if you want a premium knife, right? Like if you want a premium knife and you're like, yeah, but I don't want to scratch my knife because it's super cool. It's badass. Maybe one day I'll want to sell it. Well, then you better have other knives so that you can treat the other knives like shit and treat that one really good. But if you're going to use it like a user, then it's going to show and it's going to love it. But that's what builds character on the knife. As long as you take care and do regular maintenance, high carbon steels aren't a problem, but stainless does keep the worries away a bit more. Yes, they do. I met Eric 3 years ago at the show, spent the time to talk to me, and is a very friendly person. I walk out the room for 2 minutes and Jared is reviewing Doritos now. You guys need to ask better questions. That's hilarious. Ray from Everyday City Carry sent them. That's why I showed it to you guys. That's hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. He's reviewing Doritos now. What the hell? Yeah, I was really excited to hear that I'm able to do the K390 in DLC that I have coming soon. It's gonna be badass, guys. I can't wait. And this testing is happening, I think, tomorrow. I'm not sure because I have to. The cardboard should be here tomorrow. As soon as the cardboard gets here, I'm gonna start the testing. Do an edge retention test on this one. I've already done the sharpening. Filmed that today. Both 17 degrees per side. I did not know this. Somebody else actually called this out. They asked me, they said, hey, is the Wii version longer than the Civivi version? And I was like, no. I missed a super chat. I don't see it though. Oh, Low Country Hillbilly. I want to stretch to straighten 15V. Yeah, that sounds dope. Is that the one, Todd? James K with the 2 bones. Now review the Cool Ranch Doritos. I actually had a bag of the Cool Ranch from these, and I ate them all. But yeah, I do like the Cool Ranch. Jared, are you speccing the hardness on the K390? 63. So had to pay a little bit more. They wanted to do 61, 62. And I said no. It has to be at least 63. I wanted 63 to 65. They said if I wanted that, it would be a little bit more. So I'm paying a little bit more, and we're going to have it at 63. So 63 plus, which I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. As long as they can hit 63, I'm happy. I just don't want under 63. So I'm hoping it's 63 plus, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. I'll probably have one tested. It is DLC coded though, and I know sometimes that can. I don't know about DLC, but I know some of the other coatings can lower the HRC. Anyways, this knife is a tiny bit longer than this one by like 1/8 of an inch. The blade, the handle's the exact same size, same everything, but then look, the blade is just ever so slightly longer. That's the one difference. There's only a couple differences. The bottle opener's gone, and you know, obviously materials, and then that little bit of length, but the sharpening went very similar, even down to the problems with sharpening. Zeroaster, been a member for 17 months. Hit the like button, you get free Doritos, free protein Doritos. What is this K390 on? Yes, well, it's Reat. So Reat's the company doing it for me. It's a Neeves knife. It's an OEM project. And yeah. So I'm hoping it's good shit. Like I said, I went back and forth with them. We weren't even able to get DLC at first. Hey mother, how are you doing? I think I'm coming to see you tomorrow. But DLC was off the table. They said they could only do PVD, and then they came back and said we could do it. You know, obviously it just costs more. So I said, I didn't care. I wanted that. I wanted the K390 with DLC because I don't know of any K390 with DLC. So it's something that I would love to see and love to have. And the design I did, I made a handle design myself and put it, you know, into drawing, gave it to them. They put it, you know, into 3D rendering, and it looks pretty damn cool on paper. So we'll see how it looks in practice. But basically, I took coral, you know, the look of a specific type of coral reef, and I drew it on a scale. So there's parts that are different colors. So there's like a colored part. It almost looks like a map, kind of, you know, kind of like a geography map. But then there's going to be color, and then black DLC over the entire thing. So the entire thing is going to be DLC from head to toe. And then there's going to be parts with color, but it's just going to be a pop of color. I think it's going to be badass. Like, to me, in my head, it just looks sick. React can absolutely do 63 to 65 in case 9. I tested 2 React made a patch slip joints. Yeah, so well that they said, yeah, they said they could do it. So they said 63 was no problem. They were saying, like, you know, they were trying to recommend 60 to 61, and I said absolutely not. I said we will not do it under 63, and they said we can do a 63. That's no problem. And I said, well, good, let's do that. They said it's just going to be, you know, a little bit more. If I wanted it 64, 65, it was going to be probably maybe a couple more dollars. I'm not sure. Maybe it would have stayed the same at that point. I'm not positive, but as long as they hit 63 plus, I'm happy. So, and they said that it wasn't a problem. So, does DLC wear off? DLC is the hardest coating. It's called diamond-like coating. So yes, it can wear off, but it's very difficult. Like, it's more scratch resistant than any other coating. So like other coatings, if you scratch them, they're gonna show the scratches. With DLC, when you scratch them, it takes a lot to scratch them because it's such a hard coating. I think DLC is like up to like 68, 69 HRC, 71 HRC or something. Like, it's super hard. What is DLC's HRC, guys? Somebody knows in here in the chat. Yeah, it's almost high wear resistant coating. Way better than PVD. It's like triple as good. PVD is not even in the same it's not even in the same ballpark. Nothing is, though. But there's also DLC, the reason why, like, it costs more, like 90 plus HRC. I was way off. I said 69, 70, way off, like 90 plus HR. That's fucking crazy. No wonder why it's DLC. Yeah, that makes sense. So the reason why it costs more for it is because it's a lot. Like, the machines I don't know, right? I've never been to a DLC place, but from what I hear, the DLC, the machinery to do it, DLCs is like hundreds of thousands of dollars, supposedly. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've heard. So that's why they're very few in between. Like, you don't see them. Like, how many DLC places are in the USA? I don't know. I'm sure there's some, but it's not like they're in every fucking state, or they're probably not even in every. They might have one in every state, but there's definitely not one in every county, and there might not even be one in every state. I'm glad too. I'm trying to do as much USA stuff as possible. Dude, I am like fucking trying so hard. I'm even in contact with Kershaw, but not that I'm gonna do anything with them, because I probably won't. But and the reason why is because I've heard that their contracts are a nightmare. I don't know how true that is, and I don't want to disrespect them because I don't know if that's true or not. But I would never sign a fucked up contract to do a knife with them. But if it was something where we could work out a good deal and there was no crazy contract, I would. Hogue, I'm trying to reach out to. I'm trying to talk to all these companies. But you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So far we have 2 going on though in the USA, which is very exciting. Coatings have HRC ratings. Coating limits hardness of steel or separate thing. It's same thing. It's hardness. It's, you know, it's just a hardness scale. So yeah, it's just how much force does it take to dent it, you know, to scratch it, basically. Just like, you know, when you do HRC tests, you know, they have, I know this is a cheap way. I'm not telling you guys to go buy this. So do not buy this because it's probably a ripoff. But they have HRC testers you can buy on Amazon where you just take this like carbide thing and you scratch it. And if it scratches the blade, then it's lower than the HRC of the thing, right? If it doesn't scratch, then the thing is harder. You're going to get little tiny scratches, but if it really scratches, Steve with the 2 bones. PVD is a process. DLC is applied with PVD process. Huh. Okay. Wait. DLC is applied. with PVD process. Huh. I don't even know if I understand that. I know I've this was a few years ago. I was listening to a bunch of things about DLC and listening to the shit that goes into the DLCs and why it costs, so much money and why there isn't a lot of companies doing it. It's supposed to be really difficult. It's supposed to be really hard to work with. The machinery is supposed to be fucking crazy expensive. So I think originally it was for like underwater stuff, I think. I'm not positive about that. I could be wrong about that. I like the look of titanium coating and whatever Victorinox uses. Titanium nitride coating, I think is what you're talking about. Didn't know you were into fragrances. That's badass. Hell yeah, I am. And we got a fucking banger today. The Vibrato. I'm telling you, man, try this stuff, guys. Try it. Just get a sample. I know it's expensive. Do you know what? Alexandria might have a good clone of this. I know I tried a bottle from Alexandria that kind of reminded me of this. And when I smelt this, it reminded me of something I tried from Alexandria. I just can't remember the name of it. I think it was Bazooka, but I can't remember. So I'm looking forward to seeing Spyderco's new coating. Story time before it's over. Physical vapor deposition, PVD. Bang. The PVD chambers and ovens are expansive. Story time. What kind of story should we tell? Let me think. All right. This is when I was a kid or younger. I was living in an apartment building. It was an apartment project where it was like with 3 buildings, smack like that, and really long buildings. Lot of people in each building. Um, pretty low income area, but it was pretty bad then, but it wound up getting really bad, through the years. But even then, it had its trajectory. But anyways, I was there or living there, and my cousin was too. And my dad always raised me to be super protective over my sister, my cousins, and I always was. I got into a lot of fights, over my sister, a lot of fights over some of my cousins. And it was just a normal thing, being protective over them. Super Steel Steve, PVD can be used to apply titanium, chromium, etc. Really, PVD can be used to apply titanium. I don't understand what that means. It can be applied on it. So anyway, so the story, if you write it again, Steve, I'll make sure I read it. If you want to write something longer. My dad always raised me to be that way. So, it was kind of like my duty. If something happens to them, or if we're out and about, or, something happens, it's my duty to defend them. Right. Obviously it should be, right. Being the boy. But even so much as like if something happens to him and I'm not there, right, I better go take care of it. And there was this guy that lived around the building and was friends with me, was friends with my cousin, a female cousin, and she got money. I forget what she did. She was working or did something. She had like $100. She was in the hallway of the apartment, about to walk into the door. Oh, I'm glitching. And some reason she had the $100 in her hand, and he fucking punched her in the mouth and grabbed it and took off. Right. So she's obviously furious, right? So she tells me, right, what happened. And I already know what time it is. And the problem is, though, is I'm younger than him and a lot smaller. He's a lot bigger, a lot older. He's affiliated. Like it's a lose-lose for me. Lose-lose. There's no way I'm winning this battle. But that doesn't mean I don't have to still do it. Anyway, so it was like a week or so later, because like I kept looking for him, and he was like nowhere to be found, obviously, right? Back then $100 went pretty far. Not no more. So I wound up catching him out on the side of the building, and I just walked up to him, like, you know what time it is, and started swinging at him. We and him got into it, and he was so much taller than me, and it was pretty easy for him to keep me at a distance because his arms were so much longer than me, because I was just a kid, I was probably like barely going through puberty, and he was damn near a grown man. And so he just lit me up. He probably blessed me, but he just lit me up, just wah, 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 wah. And I took him and got my ass kicked. And there was nothing I could do. Like I said, I knew it was a lose-lose no matter what, but at least he knew like that what I was coming there for, and I, and he also knew like that even if he beat me, then he's gonna have something out on his head, continuing. And because sometimes grudges would be held, and you might see them again, and it's not like I'm getting smaller, right? I'm only getting bigger. And I remember getting into a couple fights like that where I got in a fight with somebody, and then later on one of us changed sizes. We wound up fighting again. But anyways, my cousin also was affiliated with gangs and stuff like that, and so she was friends with his rival gang. So what wound up happening was she wound up getting a hold of them, and they wound up ripping him out of a van in the projects, like literally ripped him out of it. He was literally trying to stay because he was like in a van, and he pulled up, and they were like waiting for him. They knew he was in this van. Like the person that was driving the van was in on it. Everybody was in on it but him, right? And it was in order for him to get his shit kicked in. And when the van pulled up, the door opened, and they were like, "This him?" And he knew right then, like, "Oh fuck." And they pulled him and ripped him out of that van, and stomped on him so bad that they broke his ribs, cracked his skull. He literally had cleat marks. You could see the cleat marks on his back for like weeks, or at least a week. Wound up in the hospital, and he got fucked up. Yeah, I think it was like eight dudes just beating him against a tree. So when you got pulled out, it was like there was like a curb and a sidewalk and then some apartments. This was not the apartments we lived in. This was like way down the street. Anyway, so when he got pulled out of the van, there's like a tree right there, right on the side. You know what's funny about this? It's literally a block from the police station, right where this happened, because where the police station is in this neighborhood, it's like right there, like in the worst part, basically, damn near in the worst part of Zion. And anyways, so got pulled out, wound up getting his shit stomped, wound up going to the hospital. Well, his dad was a Navy SEAL, actually, and completely different than him, right? This kid's, I'm not gonna say a bad kid, but at the time, I guess people would consider him, a kid who grew up rough, whatever, and was in gangs and stuff like that. Well, his dad was a Navy SEAL, so he wasn't around obviously when he was younger, but now he's older. He's been in his life, and he's not a big dude. This was kind of weird too, because his dad was small, but he was really tall. Like he was probably 6'3", and his dad was like 5'8". But anyways, his dad was a little badass though. Like, obviously he was a Navy SEAL. So he is so pissed off because his son is in the hospital, right? He got his shit kicked in. So he winds up grabbing a golf club, and he's walking around the projects just looking for whoever jumped his son, right? Because that's what he thought it was. He thought his son got jumped. His son got payback. That's all that was. It was payback. So so everybody in the project knew what happened. So they know this is an angry father, right? So nobody's fucking with him. Nobody's trying to fight him. Like he's trying to fight everybody, but nobody's trying to fight him. They understand why he's there. Right? There's kind of an understanding, right? We know you're going to defend your son. We know why you're out here. You don't know the ins and outs. Nobody's going to explain it to you. Nobody's going to tell you what happened, but we know what happened, and you got the wrong information. So you're trying to fight and defend, you know, trying to crack somebody's skull open. You don't know who you're hitting or why. So I don't know if he wound up going after anybody. I know, from what I understand, people just kind of left him alone, went inside, like just avoided him because it was like all at night. Like this was like just all night. He was walking around, just like trying to ask questions, you know, and like literally about to just walk up to, if he wanted getting the point, like, yeah, it was these guys. He was gonna go over there and start. I don't know. He would wound up getting shot. Probably. That's probably what would have happened. But yeah, just stupid shit, man. I got in trouble with him a couple times around that time, because there was like, it was only like a 3-year span we were together, like around each other's. We lived in the same building, and you know, and I was at that age, you know, where I was a kid, you know, getting in trouble and stuff. So and he was older than me, so you know, I hung out with all older people always. Like I almost never hung out with kids my age, never. It's funny, when I was in high school, when I graduated junior high, nobody showed up to my graduation but my friends, my homies. That's who showed up in the bleachers, looking all fucking gangsters. Fuck, making me look crazy as hell. like seriously, like everybody else's parents are there. I got, you know, a bunch of fucking 18 to 22-year-olds, and I'm 13, 14 years old. Oh man. Yeah, I'm about to bounce too, guys. Just grab you one of the Bowies when flip it for 300 profit. That's hilarious. I wonder if they're gonna wind up doing another Spyderco Slish Bowie. They said it when they came out with them that they were going to make more. They said there was going to be so many, there'd be enough for everybody to get one. They sold out, and then they never came back, and they said they're going to make more. Do you remember that? Hello, everyone. Driving home from work all day. Jared, you need to keep me awake. Knives fast. You know, KC, I was actually telling the story earlier about the whole package deal. Because somebody else was saying that they lost a pretty big package that was possibly stolen. Wait, you have to keep me awake. Okay, we'll keep you awake for a couple more minutes. How far are you driving? Tell me it's not 2 hours. What kind of thumbnail is that? The SOG folder with the gold tin coating is the ultra. Man, some of those SOGs are pretty good. Like the SOG seal, the USA made one, that thing is badass. I still want to, I had one on the channel for a little bit, but I still want to get like my own and beat the shit out of it. Just one other hour. We'll do 10 minutes. We'll do 10 minutes. How about that? We'll do another 10 minutes. But yeah, all those what was the other one? There was another one. The Terminus. The Terminus was badass. The seal was badass. The Pentagon, I'm not sure if I remember that one, but I'm sure it's also badass. Just start fucking screaming randomly to make sure he's up. Start screaming in his ear. Heart check time, motherfucker. I emailed KJ and asked if the Slish on the coming soon page was a mistake. They answered and said it should be going down within the next month. Really? Well, what's funny about that is that this was like 2 years ago when they dropped them and they said they were making more. I miss after hour lives. Yeah, the after hours just going into just about everything, don't they? That's when shit starts getting a little sticky. Crypto, let's go in the DYM right now up to 200 bounce. Terminus is another SOG I have, both versions. It's a good one. It's definitely a good one. OMKR, who's 1 minute knife reviews. They sell them at West Marine, so I picked one up a while ago, but it's in Florida right now. 2 years sounds about right for Spyderco, right? Well, it's just when they did it, everybody was like, Well, one, they changed the steel, which sucks, but I'm just guessing they couldn't get the CTSX HP. That's the one I got. I got the CTSX HP. The best CTSX HP I've ever felt on a knife is on that stuff. Anyways, there's a lot of other companies that did it well, but they wound up changing it to what, M390, I believe. Now I'm sure it's probably the better of the M390 we're going to see out there. So I'm not mad at that as long as it's done well. I don't know how well it's done. I didn't test any of them, but they said that there was going to be enough for everybody. And then they sold out and they said, well, they'll be back very soon. They never came back. They were gone. Gone with the wind for a new Python. That's a great deal. I'd love to get a Python. I saw a Spyderco Python for sale on the American Edge. I wanted $650. Yeah, that's not too bad for a Python. I seen that too, I think. I'm pretty sure I seen that. Did you send that to me? Somebody sent me a picture of it, I believe. And it's like, yeah, I want it, but I can't swing it. There's a lot of things I want right now. Oh, ooh. Guys, guess what I got coming? I should just show you guys. I kind of want to surprise it. How many people are in here? If there's not a lot of people in here, we'll look at it. Damn it. Didn't pick up my own video. Sorry, guys. Come on. Where's my video? So we have 132 in here. Okay, fuck it. We'll do it. All right. So I contacted this custom knife maker, and I wasn't asking him for the knife. I was going to buy it. Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to buy it, to be honest. I was actually just reaching, trying to find out some prices because I couldn't find the prices. I know it's expensive. Like, I know 100% it's very expensive and most likely out of my budget right now. But something just told me, just ask them. Ask them how much they are. Maybe they're better than you think, which I'm sure they're not. I'm sure they're absolutely not. Anyway, so reached out to them and just asked them, what's the price, right? And he said, he's like, what version you want or whatever, like, you know, because he does, it's obviously a custom, so, you know, you can do what color hardware you want, the type of finish, the type of, you know, pattern, stuff like that, right? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I was just looking for, you know, whatever the base model is, like, what is the most affordable, cheapest? And then before he said anything, I said the diamond pattern with purple hardware, right? And then he's like, all right, send me your address. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so fucking awesome. This guy is going to send me a knife. And he said, if I want to buy another one, I can pay him then. So if I wind up wanting a different one, which I'll probably want, but anyways, here is the knife. Not my exact one. He's obviously probably got to put it together and make it, but this is what it's like. I'm pretty sure Metal Complex has one, the son of a bitch, but just joking. But here, this is it. A Rob Johnson. Look at that, baby. Oh, it looks beautiful. Look at that thing. Oh, I fucking love it. I love that. So mine, I think, will be just like this with purple hardware, purple clip, purple hardware, with, I believe that's the diamond pattern on the scales. In Van X, by the way. He does Van X and RWL 34. This thing just looks magical to me. I love the way it looks. I love the way the action looks. Flipper tab looks like it could be uncomfortable, but we'll see. That reverse flick hole looks banging. The clip looks like a good clip. I'm excited about this one. You know, I handle so many knives that, you know, certain knives, they get me excited, but I don't get as excited. I mean, I used to get excited with everything, you know, but, you know, I handle so many knives now. Obviously, I can't get as excited as I used to, right? It's just the nature of the beast, you know. I still get very excited, don't get me wrong, but not like, you know, not like this, you know. This, I'm fucking pumped. I'm excited, like really excited. This is like Herman excited. Does you want my address too? If I actually do, there's another Herman I'm trying to get. I want to get the slim so bad. I'm hoping I'm able to get one of those pretty soon. But this thing just looks gorgeous. Here, we'll look at some of his other ones. So this is another knife design he does. You can see the colors that he does with the titanium. He does beautiful colors. Here's the two next to each other. He does these honeycomb patterns. Look at that thing. That thing looks gorgeous. I'm guessing that's a great front flipper. I don't know. I obviously haven't tried it, but it looks like it works well. Here's the honeycomb pattern on this beach. Rose gold honeycomb. That's actually fucking sick. That is sick. Oh, that is dope. Freaking love it. This is kind of going to be like what mine looks like, kind of, except for mine's going to be purple hardware. Does he have a purple one? No, but this is the purple. Look at that purple. Oh, it's so beautiful. This shit blinds me. Like my eyes, like there's this certain color blue that actually, like when I look at it, it literally almost blinds me. I don't know if there's something wrong with me or if everybody has this, but I've had it since I was a kid. Like, do you guys remember the crayon boxes? When I would open up the crayon box, there was one specific blue that would literally like glow in my eyes. Yeah. They look dope though. They look badass. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Yeah, that's very sexy. That's a damn knife. Yeah, I know. MC's always beating me to the punch. But we're gonna be passing him up again this year. We'll see. I actually don't care about passing him up. I only care, what I care about is, like I was saying earlier, instead of the subscribers, I want the views. That's all I care about. Them views. Last I checked, White Mountain had Drunkens. With a code, you can get a good price. The Drunkens are dope. Do you know, there's just something about the Slish buoy that's just so badass. I have it right here. No, that's the shot. Where is my buoy? I don't even know where my buoy is right. Oh, I think it's in the case. Here's the chef. My chef actually has a little bit of lock rock. Like, it's not play, so it's still solid. But if I smacked it, I bet I would fail it. But not too big of a deal. It's a slicer. But yeah, they do a good job with their titanium frame locks. I do like them. Even though they're not as refined as, like, say, something like Riyadh or whatever, they are, the tolerances and the construction is really well done. So it's something that you appreciate over time. Like, over time, even though, like, their lock bars are a lot different because they don't use steel lock bar inserts, they just, in most cases, have a very solid lockup. Obviously, this one's an exception, but most of them have a nice solid lockup. Like my Slish buoy's rock solid, but they have this luxurious smoothness that turns so glassy. Like, this is like a Sabenza doesn't even compare to this, you know, to these Spydercos after they break in. It's just so maybe they do. I guess my Sabenza is really, really smooth, but just bought the CJRB Mini Pyrite. That's a good one. I love that Mini Pyrite, man. That thing is snappy. Very, very snappy. People get off on the blade finish of the Slish buoy. Oh, yeah. They want that damn finish. But you know what, though? The thing is that when it was available back in the day, that was one of the selling points, was that finish, that mirrored stonewash. Everybody was like loving it. You know who does that now? Is Medford. Medford does that. They do a mirrored stonewash now that's very similar to it. Maybe not exact, but it's very similar, and it looks really, really nice. And the thing I've noticed from that coating or that finish, it is damn near scratch resistant. Like, obviously you can still scratch it, but I don't know, something about it, like, because of the stone washings beat it to death. It is like a durable finish, at least on mine. That's the same finish on the Techno 2. Yes, it is. Yeah, you're right. Here it is. Yes, it is. It's the same finish as the Techno 2. Right here. You can see how it's like reflective, how you can see the camera right there. Kind of, you can see it. It's kind of hard through a camera, but again, look at how smooth that is. Bam. It's just so I love their titanium frame locks. I wish that they would design more. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't, right? It's not like they do them in the USA. They do them in Taiwan. So make your fucking Taiwan factory pump out some more knives for us. Damn it. Man, there's no way that you guys couldn't come up with some more badass designs. I just bought a grinder and now I just want to make knives all day long instead of buy them. Hell yeah, Arrowhead. Good for you, man. Congrats. Let me know when you got one made. I want to check it out. I talked with Greg Medford briefly at a show recently and he actually seemed humble. Yeah. Why wouldn't he? Looks like a rice cake consistency. Oh, you must be backed up in time. Jared, have you checked out Hog House knives? I've seen them. I want one bad, but no, I have not. I've seen them just online, like probably you. Unless if you have one, but yeah, I want one. I want to try one, but I think I tried to message them with no, nothing happened, but hopefully one of these days I'm able to get one on the channel. Will you go to Blade shows? Yeah, I'll be in Atlanta. I gotta actually order my fucking place soon. I still haven't done that. Normally I do that a year before. I'm fucking 6 months late. Palmer with the 2 bones. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the 2 bones. Every reviewer is gushing over the Hog House Vele, but I haven't seen any for sale. Yeah, like I said, I think I reached out to them. I'm not sure. Maybe I was trying to. I don't know if I ever found their contact, but I want to because I would love to get one of their knives on the channel. But it probably wouldn't be it probably wouldn't benefit them unless they have some for sale. So let us fabricate a new drama now that the Joe X story had withered out. You want to start something new? I'm sure we can come up with something. Yeah, man, the Joe thing, that sucks, man. That sucks. That's why we need our freedoms. I'm big in knives, but know nothing about deep carry self-defense tactical knives. My nephew is wanting one. Any recommendations? So I would say it depends on what you mean, because if you really want a real self-defense tactical knife, you need a fixed blade all day. I actually have one that's going to be available very, very soon. I should have it here like tomorrow or the next day. I keep saying that, but I have one USA made. They're not cheap, but it is a tactical knife. It's literally I designed it around being a self-defense knife. There's 2 different versions, with a ring or without. If you get it without the ring, then you can also add a ring to it, because there's G10 scales that you can put on to make it with a ring. Anyways, that's the FLN by TKELL Knives. TKELL FLN. You can go onto his website, TKELL TKELL Knives. That's the FLN. That's coming very soon. Other than that, I would say lean towards something tacticalish, or if you're going to lean towards something tacticalish for self-defense, you're going to want a fixed blade. Now, if you want a folder, then you have to get something with a strong lock. It has to be like one of 3 locks. It either has to be compression lock, a crossbar lock, or a triad lock, or a shark lock or something. It has to be some sort of lock that can handle a lot of strength, because the one thing that's very scary is if you stab something if you stab a knife into something and the pressure goes this way and the thing does happen to slip or fold, you need to make sure that lock is guaranteed not to slip or fold. I think it's like 100 pounds. You want to make sure it can hold. So self-defense slip joint. But there's a lot of great fixed blades that are concealable. Like even the one I'm making, man, you can put it in your pocket. You can, there's different ways to carry them. But if it has to be a folding knife, I mean, there's so many to go with. Like if you want to go with a triad lock, go with something from Cold Steel. They have a ton of ton of self-defense knives and fixed blades. I like the Mannix. I think the Mannix is a good one. I know it's just a basic EDC knife and it doesn't seem like it, but the grip is very grippy, and this really locks you in. Like, I feel like I could just ram this into a fucking wall right now and I wouldn't slip. Same thing in the reverse grip. I can definitely slam this thing down into something. The ball lock is nice and strong. It's a strong locking system. It's rapid deployment. The clip is nice and smooth in and out of the pocket. Very, very lightweight, at least this one, unless you get the G10 one. I would say the XL is even better for that reason or that purpose. But there's a lot of other stuff. But I think the Mannix XL would probably be like the best for that. That's what I would recommend, probably number one. Because it's rapid deployment, quick closing, very smooth action, nice strong lock, very slicey, spear point blade, or it's actually a leaf shaped blade. It's just like this, just a lot bigger. Bradway with the 10 bones. Thank you, brother. The Mannix is gold. Yeah, I think that's why I love the Mannix so much. It's so versatile. It's so useful in so many different ways. But like, even, you know, just a nice crossbar lock is good. It's just this is something I'd way rather have like something like this than something like this. Now, what you need is just something that has the ability to carry, rapidly deploy, you know what? And Emerson's are a little rough around the edge, but that's what they're made for, is for tactical shit. Just make sure you keep it nice and sharp. But you know, these are a little rough around the edge for the $250, $300 you'll spend on it. But these are tactical knives. This stuff's some of the grippiest G10 you'll ever see in your life. It's literally made for tactical situations. This is the A100. They have a bunch of other ones. I'm pretty sure there might be some of these available right now. Maybe not. There is upgrades you can do to them. There's even a bigger one than this, an A100 plus or something. I don't know. The Mannix XL is one I still need to try. These new lightweights, GP knives, St. Nick's ones, have made me realize how awesome the Mannix really is. I know, right? But yeah, the XL, if you haven't tried it, you definitely need to. The XL is very special. It's a great one. I mean, it's the same thing, just a lot larger. You know, so it's a great size large knife. So what I love about it, and why I actually kind of like it more than the small one, is because when you actually grab it and you start using it for breaking down cardboard and stuff, you realize how wieldable that knife really is. Like, it's super wieldable. You have so much cutting edge. It's like damn near 4 inches of cutting edge, you know, so you can just shred shit, and you have so much power into that handle because the ergos are so good. Yeah, it's badass. Do you just own all of them? That's what you do. Just own all of them. Exactly. Just own every single one of them. Jared got his XL from me. There you go. And I love it. Now you could go with something, you know, with like, this is not a shark lock, but it's similar to a shark lock. It's a nice strong locking system. You can rely on it. You can stab this into stuff. This is a cold steel. So it's got a nice grip area where you can pop it into something. This is the engage. The lock, you know, or not the lock, sorry, the deployment, it's a little slouchy, you know, like you can whip it like that, but it's more of a slow roller. This is a hard use pry bar, but you're never going to break it. So this is something that is pry bar thick. So it's literally made for prying. You could stab this into a car door and just, you know, go to town. The lock is like, it'll hold like 600 and 700 pounds. So this thing is extremely, extremely strong, way stronger than anything you'll ever do to it. But it's also, you know, pretty tactical-ish. And with that tanto, you're gonna have a nice, strong, piercing tip. I prefer a spear point to a tanto, unless if it's a drop point tanto. Drop point tantos are nice, you know, where they drop down a little bit because then they're a little bit more pokier. But I personally prefer a spear point myself for like tactical shit, you know, for self-defense shit. I always consider, like, you know, what am I going to use the knife for in a sticky situation, right? Like one time I've told this story where I was up in a tree and I had a rope wrap around me. We were doing, you know, chainsaw shit, and the tree branch went down, and it was my fault, you know, just a mistake on the job. And the branch, or the rope, you know, because when the branch fell, the rope was tied to the branch, so the branch is falling, the rope is going, and it fucking snagged around me and was about to rip me out of the fucking tree. It hit the ground, and like it was about to hit the ground and started tearing me out of the tree. Luckily I had my knife on me and I cut the rope, so I was fine. I was good to go. But it could have been bad. Um, if I didn't have the knife, I wouldn't have made it. It would have totally, because I couldn't have hung on. That's the point. Like, you can only hang on so long when you have something pulling on you out of a tree. Um, and the guys, you know, yeah, they probably could have ran over there and grabbed it and picked it up, you know, and tried to lessen the tension or something. But who knows if I were to. Anyways, the point is though, is that my head plays out things like that. And my head also plays out like the situation I always mention with a dog, you know, attacking a child or attacking whoever. Um, Not even that it has rabies or anything, just an aggressive dog, you know, something to where you might not want to pull a trigger because of, you know, other people or whatever. So sometimes you got to go for the messier situation. And you know, obviously this is just something that, you know, nobody ever wants to do, and you'd hope that it never does happen, and most likely it won't, but you still want to be mentally prepared for anything. I think that's the biggest part. Just be mentally prepared, you know, train a little bit, you know, and like I was saying earlier, man, getting your endurance up is number one, because it really doesn't fucking matter if you don't have that. If you don't have that, you know, because most things, like, even say I've been in situations that were 30 to 40 seconds, and in that 30 to 40 seconds it felt like an hour, and your adrenaline dumps so much that your bones almost feel like they're gonna break. Like, it's kind of weird what happens. Like, it's like your muscles, and you're so tense, like you're so locked up, that it's almost like kind of like if you clenched really hard, as hard as you could, and just held it there for 30 minutes. You couldn't do that. First of all, you'd fucking pass out or just stop. But it's kind of like having to do that, you know. So by the time you're done, I told you guys this story where I had to fight three of my friends. My father made them jump me one after another. And by the last guy, because I fought each one of them, you know, at a time, by the time I was done, I wound up with a concussion and I was vomiting violently, but I had the worst headache that I've had some crazy headaches. I've had some bad migraines. I've had some bad tooth infections. I've seen pain when it comes to headaches and shit like that. This was extreme. Like, I felt like my head was gonna explode. It was like bam, 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 but it didn't hit me till it stopped. Like, literally, I was fine the whole time. I was fighting the whole time, all over, getting all fucked up. But then as soon as it stopped, you know, you're tired, tired, and that's what kind of makes you eventually stop. And I won, but at the cost of winning, I fucking basically collapsed. I wound up getting up, and like after winning the fight, like I went to get up and I literally just collapsed. All these girls came over and started beating my ass after that. And I wasn't gonna fight them, so I didn't give a shit about that. But I was fucked up. Like, but and it was just such an adrenaline dump. Obviously, fighting is another thing, but the real thing was not getting hit, not wrestling, not hitting. Like, it wasn't none of that. It was literally the adrenaline dump, like just the fighting part. Like, getting hit is one thing, but the adrenaline going up and down, and you having to put your all into something. Like, there's one thing when people think they put their all into something until they do. Like, right now, if I told you run as hard as you can, as fast as you can, like, you're literally going to save your child or save your niece or save your sister, whatever. Think of something in your head that's so dire that you're literally running as hard and as fast as you fucking can. Do that for 30 seconds and see how you feel after. You know what I mean? And now picture having to deal with something for 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, the endurance is going to be the number one thing that makes it or breaks it in those situations. You could be the baddest motherfucker and you'll you'll fail because of endurance. And that's one thing I need to work on big time is endurance, 100%. And now I have something that I'm going to use to do that. You guys will be seeing it very soon in the video. Coming soon. Coming soon. Fuck Peloton. That's all I got to say. Yeah, fuck Peloton. Train for a 5-second stun like an explosion. You need a good lighter, though. Kidding. The odd skills for the Mannix make a great. I need to try those, man. I still haven't tried those, Anthony. I really like the goat scales, so I'm waiting for those. I don't know how long they're going to be, but I do have multiple Mannixes. I could get some of those damn alts. Breathing is number 1 when running, in the nose and out the mouth. Yep. Well, it's just like even like, box breathing, if your adrenaline's up really high and you need to focus and calm down, you do box breathing. I'm pretty blessed in that I've been through so much crazy, stupid shit that I'm actually really comfortable in stressful situations. Like, I'm really antsy and bouncy and stuff, but when I get into a stressful situation, I'm fucking locked in. I'm pretty good with it. I've just been through so many different crazy situations that it's just molded me to do that. But I am very honest when I say I do not have stamina, though. That's my problem right now, is I need better stamina and better endurance. I need to do more running. I need to do more bike riding. I need to do a lot more endurance stuff to get that going. Because like I said, it doesn't matter if you can do that. How do you like the original ghost skills for the Mannix? I don't have those yet. They haven't made those yet. They're making them right now. Well, I don't know if they've started working on them yet, but they have. I sent them one, so they should be. They're making them. I don't know when they're going to have them done because they have to program their machines and everything else, and they are working on other projects right now. But as soon as they're done, I'll have some. Kevin Smith and Knives with the 5 bones sharpening video tomorrow. Need more tips, brother man. Do I have a sharpening video tomorrow? I have a sharpening video coming up, but I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. I might be able to pull off a short for tomorrow for sharpening, but we do have a lot of sharpening videos coming up, like a lot, both short and long form. Number 2, we have the members live, not this Sunday, so not tomorrow, but next Sunday. And Lacey's going to be on there with me right here. EDC and Lace is going to be on there with me, and we're going to do some live sharpening together. So if you want to join, yeah, I'll see you there. And we're also going to do the giveaway for the regular Mannix or the lightweight. For the lightweight, pre-order for Mannix 2 OG. Appreciate you doing all the sharpening advice on my stream Monday night. Very good. Yeah, we did a lot. Yeah, we talked a lot of sharpening over there on KC's channel. If you guys want to check that out, that was Monday, right? Yeah, Monday, me and him were live. So just go back on his channel. We talked a lot of sharpening stuff. There's a lot of great questions on there. But I do have a long playlist. Go to my playlist if you're ever wanting. I'm going to show you guys how to do this again. It's really easy. But if you go to my channel on YouTube, just go to the home screen. This is what the home screen looks like, just like this. So when you're on the home screen, pull that off. You see, this is the home screen, right? You see there's home, videos, shorts, live, playlist. Click playlist. Then here's a bunch of playlists. Now, you can find knife sharpening right here. Now, if you click this, it's going to play them all. So, but when you click it, you will see all the videos over here. See, there's all these, every single one of these. You guys see that? Yeah. all these videos on the side right here. These are all sharpening videos. Now, some of them are lives, so you do have to sift through them and pick which one you want. I think the bottom ones are the most recent and the top ones are the oldest. So go to the middle and then start working your way down. Some of the older stuff you might not like, and my information has gotten better over time, obviously. That's why I want to redo every single video I've ever made. I don't know what I'm going to go up to. If I should go up to 1200. But I'm going to redo every single sharpening video I've ever done. Jared, do you prefer G10 or micarta? Micarta. Hands down. I love micarta. I like G10 too. G10's really good for certain applications, like say tactical knives. They're really good. Micarta's good, but micarta doesn't do great with blood. G10 does. So you know, there's going to be a lot of great things for G10. G10 is super grippy, but I love the natural feel of micarta. I love how warm it is. I love how comfortable it is. Yeah, I love micarta. What are your thoughts on the Wii Vision? I love the Wii Vision, but the Civivi Vision is even better. I own both the Wii and the Civivi version. What are your thoughts? The Civivi is way better. Way better. They upgraded everything they messed up with the Wii one, they fixed with the Civivi one. So I hated fighting. I'd cry even when I won, afraid I'd pluck out an eye and eat it out of fear. Give me your fucking eye. Yeah, I got a buddy that sometimes when he gets into a scrap, he'll bite a motherfucker. Irish. But hey, man, when you're in a street fight, anything goes. So, you know, I'm not judging. You know, I'd say on a one-on-one, I would definitely judge that. But in a street fight, I wouldn't judge that not one bit. Some of the shit I've seen other people do, fuck. Just got my CV Storm. I'll check this out. This is a knife that's brand new. I haven't even shown it on the channel yet, but look what I did to it already. Look at the tip. It's not probably going to be hard to come up, but look at the tip. You guys see that? It's like poking down. So it goes up and then goes down because I bent it. Hopefully it'll show right here. You can kind of see it's bent downward. I went to open it, and when I opened it, it hit something, and now the tip is just bent downward. So it's going to break off. I don't think I can straighten that out. You can kind of see it a little bit right here. See how it's like bent. Anyways, cool knife. Not really my style, but definitely snappy. You know, it's a good knife. You know, it feels like a good knife. Great action, great everything. Just not my style blade for sure. I mean, it would work good because it's compact. But my son was a college wrestler. He developed unbelievable stamina, focus, and ability to control adrenaline rush. Yeah, fighting does that. That's exactly what fighting does. I'd say anybody who's in any sort of contact sport will do that. Whether it's, you know, you can say boxing, wrestling, karate, football, basketball, all that stuff's going to do that. But that goes away if you don't train it, right? There's going to be some things that come back fast if you train it. It's kind of like muscles, right? Like if you've ever been built and you lost it, if you start working out, you'll get it back pretty quick. It's muscle memory. But you still lose it though, right? The stamina, same thing. If you fucking go from doing that stuff for years on end and then stop and don't do anything and don't train it, don't warm it up, you will lose it. So that's why it's important to stay up to date, to stay active, stay this, stay that. Just keep your blood pumping and put yourself into stressful situations. You know, you can create the stressful situations so they're not too crazy, especially if you're like just beginning to put yourself into stressful situations. You can do them in easy ways. There's lots of ways to do it. You know, you don't even have to do anything crazy. You can literally just use your brain, you know, and act something out. Low Country Hillbilly with the 2 bones, Jim J Red. You all did Triple B with this live tonight. Why was Triple B live? Stroppy stuff or gunny juice? Stroppy stuff all day. Jared, you mentioned doing another update, best edges for steels video. Yeah, I do need to do that one too. I don't have any dates on that one. But I'll definitely put that one in the books. When I do it though, it's going to be a lot more. I don't know. It's tough because that's a long video. So like, say if I want to put what I want to put into that, that's like, that video would take me a long time to do, like way longer than I'm probably comfortable doing, because the return would never be good for it. But that being said, if you want to fucking be the best channel, you got to put the best work into it. So, we'll see. My wife just surprised me with flights and tickets to Blade Show, Texas. How awesome is she? You got to keep her, my friend. Kevin, you have a keeper. Tell your wife I said that. And if she ever bitches about your knife collection, just show her mine. I posted a video on Instagram the other day showing about 60% of my knives. Somebody commented and said, at least yours are organized. Mine are just stacked everywhere. And it's funny because so are mine. Like, you guys seen the 60%. You didn't see the 40%. The 40% is fucking scattered and stacked everywhere. Up there, there's 50 knives, 200 sitting there, 100 probably right here. Fucking boxes behind me, knives over here. I could reach and fucking grab a knife anywhere. And they're not in great places, by the way. Kev, you looking to adopt a child? Can anyone recommend any diamond stones for KME? Yeah. Go to Grit-O-Matic. You can go to my link. Just go to my link. Go to the Neevesknives store down in the description. Neevesknives store and sharpening supplies. That's what it's called, down in the description. And look for Atomas. Just go to the search bar. Literally go to that link. Go up to the search bar and put in ATOMA, Atoma 1X4, and they'll pop up. Now, if you want to, you could go with Grit-O-Matic stones too, or you could go with the Neeves, but that's going to be a bit more expensive. If you do go with the dogs, you want the dogs. You got that dog in you. HAPSTONE sharpening supplies, they got stuff too, but I don't think they have anything for 4-inch. I think they only have 6-inch over there. Pretty sure. And you're right there. Yes, there's my Neeves. There's the link right there. Bang. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it, man. Dumb question. Why are we talking about fighting in a knife channel? I'd rather hear about why a guy should own both the Civivi Cubit and the Wii Cubit. Well, first off, we talk about everything in the lives. Pretty much anything goes in my lives. We just, I like to talk about different topics. I don't like just talking about one thing. And after 9 o'clock, after 9, was it 9:30? After 9 o'clock, between 9 and 9:30, we normally do story time. So at 8:45, so we talk knives all the way up to like 8:50. Then we do fragrance of the day. Then we do story time. And then after story time, we just usually shoot the shit. We normally don't stay on this long. I'm on like an hour later than normal. Because of KC. So shout out to KC. But anyways, yeah, I talk about everything, man. I don't mind talking about, I don't like the thought of being a channel that refuses to talk about things that the audience wants to talk about. And knives definitely have something to do with fighting, because it's like a lot of knives are for that purpose, right? And, there's knives are not just, and I don't mean like just like a human, but like just in a self-defense situation against anything, any time where a knife could save your life. But the cubits, though, we do have the testing coming very soon on these. We are doing the edge retention test, and I'll be testing just everything, period, and seeing what the difference is between a budget knife and a premium knife. But I am going to be doing more than just that, because I don't know how good this video is going to be, because their 20 CV is a little bit on the softer side. It's a coated blade, so it's even more on the softer side. They do a good job with their 14C. So we'll see how it does, but I think it might be a good idea for me to do like another knife in 14C and then like a Spyderco K390 and show you the difference in steels, and then maybe also talk about different materials, titanium and blah, blah, blah. 13 minutes. Haven't made it to one of your lives in a long time. Forgot how fun that. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that, man. Story time is morals time. Better not be texting and driving. No, he's talk texting. That's what he's doing. He's just talking to his phone and it's writing it down for him, right? Did you get the Kozak? The Kazakh? What is that? The Kazakh Model 10? Is that real? Oh. So you must be Russian. Yes, I have the KO3. The KO3. Yes, I do have that. I'm actually doing a video very soon on the top 5 best knife sharpeners that you can buy. We're gonna do a bunch of bangers in that video. So I have a lot of sharpening videos coming up. I always do. And right now I'm doing a lot of testing and stuff like that. And I'm going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to offer and add a lot of information into every video. That's a long form video. So not like my first impressions, maybe I'll figure out a way to make those better too, because I would like to make it where everybody wants to watch those too. But I'm especially going to make sure that that shit smells so fucking good. But I'm especially going to make sure that I put forth a lot of effort into my regular videos where I do have the ability to add testing and behind the scenes cutting and working on shit, modifying stuff, whatever, and just being able to show the results and show the testing and things like that. I got that really cool microscope now, so that'll be featured in a lot of videos. I'm also thinking about getting an even better one so I can get even closer. Where are you going, or where you what? Where are you going, or where you're going? Yeah, pretty much. I want to type Russian. Where are you from, mystery Arabic man? But yeah, it might be maybe somebody from TSPROF. Yeah, I'm excited about that sharpener video. I think it's going to do pretty well too, and I think I'm going to have a good video on it. I plan on having a lot of great information in there. Anytime you want to talk about knives, just send a quick super chat, and Jared will respond with solid tips and perspectives. Bob's got it on point. He didn't skip a beat with that one. First time on a live. What's going on? Thank you for joining. Glad you are doing sharpening videos. I suck at sharpening my knives. Just keep at it, man. Keep working at it. The worst thing you can do is give up. So if you suck, all that means is it's all, it can only get better from there, right? So watch videos and grasp as much information as possible. That's the number one thing I can tell you is get the information. Get the information from good sources, because if you stick with the information from the same sources that are good sources, that will help you from looking at all different other stuff and getting information wrong, because there are a lot of channels that have poor information. It's not that they're bad information, it's just poor information. So and focus on the basics. Don't worry about all these fucking mirror polished edges, these high grit edges. Literally work on 2 stones, a 300 and a 600 grit, or a 200 grit and a 400 grit, something with a medium grit, right? Medium grit would be 4 to 800 grit. Right there, that's as high as you need to go. If you can't get a fucking great edge with a 400 grit stone, then you can't get a great edge on any other stone. That's the way it works. So nothing will help you get a better edge if you can't get a good edge on a 400 grit. That is super important to know, because I even thought, like, when I would sharpen, I would get a decent edge, and I'd be like, man, if I only had a 5,000 grit stone, my edges would be really sharp. Nope, that's wrong. That is absolutely wrong. Your edge will be, the sharpness will absolutely come from the first stone. You will refine the teeth on the second stone, so it might feel a little bit sharper on the second one, but after that, you're just making the teeth smaller and smaller. So you're just making the bite less and less. Now, some steels hold on to bite for, you know, really well, even with a mirror polished edge, but they were still perfect from the medium grit. So at the medium grit, they were as sharp as they're going to get, right? You made the teeth smaller, made it finer, but the sharpness was already there. And if you can get a great edge with a 400 to 600 grit, then you can get amazing edges with the finer grits. If you can't get a good edge with a toothy edge or a medium grit, then you absolutely will get dog shit garbage edges with a finer grit. 14C 28 on. That's what I would go with, Corey. 14C is really good because, one, a lot of knives are done in it right now. There's tons of great knives in 14C, and 14C, they heat treat well because it's easy to heat treat. So it's made for mass production. So since it was literally made for mass production from AEBL, it's a steel that they're not going to fuck up. So you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be decent. And when you sharpen it, that's going to be a very important thing. You know, the development of the burr, how the burr pops off, all that good stuff. And 14C does really well. Also, Civivi's 14C, they have a lot of very thin blades, and that's what I would focus on 100% is the geometry. What you don't want to learn on is thick knives. You do not want to learn sharpening on anything thick. You want as thin as possible. So get stuff like Civivi's or any sort of knives that are 15 thousandths or less behind the edge. Work on those. That will help you significantly. If I owned a Schrade, I would make your K390 Spyderco look like shit. That's hilarious. Isn't Schrade a Walmart brand? I actually got a Schrade right here. Isn't that funny? Bang! USA made though, baby. This one's a USA one. Not too bad either. I think I gave this thing a lot more shit than it deserved, but I mean, it's a good knife, but it was just way too overpriced. Now the price is a lot better because they realized, you know, that there was a retarded price. But yeah, it's just not as refined as anything else, right? Benchmades, Hogues, Spydercos are worlds apart from this. But for what it is, it's still a good knife. It's a little pry bar, though. It is very thick behind the edge. S35 VN, little rough around the edges. The blade to handle ratio is horrendous. The action's good. Mine does have some up and down play. But yeah, I dragged it in the video after I found out the price. The first video I did on it, when I just did my first impressions, I didn't drag it, but at the time I didn't have any of the prices. They tricked me on that one. They didn't like try to trick me, but they did trick me because I would have thought it was $100 knife and it wound up being like $250. And I was like what? Like what? How's he still going? And I have missed any. You missed everything. You missed everything because you're stropping at too high an angle and running them over. Did somebody ask about stropping? Yeah, when you're stropping, you want to try your best to hold the exact same angle or lower because and no pressure. So no pressure. And the reason why you can hold a lower angle is because nothing bad will happen if you do that. Now, you might not hit the apex, but at least you're not going to roll your apex. Too high of an angle will roll your apex. It'll round it off. So always stick with the exact angle or lower if you're questionable about your angle. Like say if my angle's this, but I'm not positive that that's my angle, well then I'll lower it a little bit and then do it and see if it's working. No pressure. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. I appreciate all the donations tonight. I appreciate all the support. The members, we have a members giveaway every single other weekend, every single other Sunday. When we do our members live, we will do giveaways. We have a members live coming up, not tomorrow, but Sunday after. And Lacey, that's in the chat right now, will be joining us. She will be doing some live sharpening with us. Me and her will talk some sharpening talk. Hopefully she'll have her sharpening supplies there, so we'll do some sharpening with her. And yeah, hopefully you guys are able to join, and we'll give away some cool shit. Yeah, and what else? What else do I want to say? I got some really badass videos coming very soon. Now, there's a particular video, and I'm going to ask you guys very nicely. I have a particular video coming soon, and I do have an ad at the beginning. Okay. Please watch it. It's funny, and I put a lot of work into this. And even if you don't want this thing, that's fine. You don't have to want this thing. Just watch it anyways. I love you guys. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.